It was all lies. We vanished to keep you safe, but now we have a plan to reunite. We just need your help.
Help? We knew that you work for the palace. That's our key. What are you talking about?
Those royals are swimming in wealth. If you can just get something, cash, jewelry, we'll vanish for good, start fresh.
My mind flashed to Casper's safe, but... You want me to steal? From birth, I had it all. Dad gave me a Tesla before I could even walk. They were big shot politicians, and while they gave me everything, the one thing they never gave me was their time. They were always traveling, meetings here, conferences there. Sometimes I had to watch the news just to remember what they looked like. People envied my life. I envied, well, people who actually had parents around. But at least I got a fat allowance to drown out the loneliness. I threw the best parties, wore the priciest outfits, and believed I was living the life. Until everything came crashing down. I was 17 when it happened. I was scrolling through the TV when I stumbled on a news headline that made my stomach drop.
Breaking news. The Federal Investigation Unit is probing Mr. and Mrs. Stone for large-scale fraud using shell companies and offshore accounts.
Mr. and Mrs. Stone? That was my mom and dad! I called them immediately to ask about what I heard. I called repeatedly, but no one answered. My heart raced. Something was wrong. Come on, Mom, pick up! Dad? Just when I thought I could faint from fright alone, Mom sent me a message. We're okay. Don't call. We'll explain everything later. No call, no explanation. Not even a how are you. I tried to convince myself they wouldn't abandon me, but that illusion broke the next morning. I woke up to find 2 cops on our doorstep, with a warrant and icy voices.
Are you Ivy Stone?
I nodded, heart racing.
We're here to seize Mr. and Mrs. Stone's property. They're fugitives in a financial crime case.
That was the moment my world collapsed.
Records say you've got an aunt in North Carolina. She has agreed to take you in. You're underage. We can't leave you here alone.
And just like that, I was shipped off to the middle of nowhere to my mother's sister, a woman my mom cut all ties with when I was still a toddler. She worked as a servant in the royal palace now and stayed in the servants' quarters. I was on my way to meet her when the universe gave me a clear sign that coming here was a mistake. You! Are you blind? Do you know how much this costs? He turned around to face me and I almost lost my footing. He was gorgeous. Bright green eyes, dark messy hair, tall but definitely my age range.
Sorry, princess. I don't have eyes at the back of my head.
Just like that, the spell broke. Oh, how dare you insult me after what you did?
Hey, who wears Dior near a pig pen?
You lowly, muddy, pig-stinking, farm floor-wiping pig!
Wow, creative. You should write poetry.
I forced myself to locate Aunt Nancy's house before I buried someone in pig mud. I was still seething. I couldn't even bring myself to cheer up when I finally did. Welcome to North Carolina, Ivy! What's welcoming about this place? Everyone stinks like a farm. Ivy, with what happened, you should be grateful for this opportunity to change scenery. But that was easier said than done. First, she served something that looked like suffering. Is this prison food? Oatmeal surprise, with a pinch of sardine oil for flavor. Build strong bones.
I'd rather break a bone.
I rejected the food, determined to order something that didn't look like something I'd rather throw on someone, like that pig guy. But when I tried ordering dinner from a nearby cafe app, I discovered something that made me scream. No funds? Card declined? What? Turns out I'd spent my last allowance on a shopping spree I barely remembered. Great. Now I went broke, parentless and foodless. How was I supposed to survive? For days, I barricaded myself in that tiny room. My so-called friends were too busy mocking me online while my parents were still MIA. It felt like the world had turned its back on me. Aunt Nancy swapped her usual prison food for something brighter, things I could recognize. Still, I couldn't eat. Your food's gone cold. So is my soul. If it's that bad, why not get a job and buy your fancy meals? It's summer holiday after all. I wasn't born to work. I was born to be adored. I knew I was giving her a hard time, but I was so angry at how my life flipped. I couldn't see past my own misery. Until one stormy night. Ugh, I hate storms. Unable to sleep, I shuffled to the living room to distract myself, and found Aunt Nancy showing off some improvisation skills. Hey, why are you fixing that by yourself? The rain is going to soak everywhere if I don't. Shouldn't you be sleeping in your room? You're sleeping in it. That's your bedroom? You left it for me? That's when I realized that this house only had one bedroom. You're sleeping on the floor just so I can be comfortable? Why even bring me here when you and Mom don't even talk? Your mom is the one who cut me off. Once she had money and fame, she started treating poor people like me like I was a disease. But you're my niece. I wasn't about to let them throw you into some foster care without a fight. Tears stung my eyes. All this time, I'd acted like a brat, but she was the only one who'd shown up for me. That night, I promised myself I'd carry my weight and stop acting like the world owed me something. So, I applied for a part-time job at the palace, even though Aunt Nancy insisted I shouldn't bother. And the governess gave me a position I never expected.
You've been assigned as a personal assistant to a member of the royal family. Report upstairs after dinner.
Wait, personal assistant? Royal family? Like crown prince kind of royal?
Something like that. Be respectful. Don't make him upset.
Rumor said the prince had been ruling the kingdom since he was just a child, with the governess's help. This could be my big break. Impress him, marry rich, and escape Pigtown for good. So I put on my best smile to meet my so-called salvation. Good evening, my prince. I've brought...
Oh, it's you again.
No way.
Looks like you're in charge of keeping me happy now, Miss Dior.
This must be a joke. Okay, so, plot twist, you're the prince. So, you shoveled mud just to humiliate me earlier?
Some of us like working hard. You're stuck with me now, princess. I expect my boots cleaned by morning. Royal dirt only, of course.
Never. I quit. I wouldn't give him that chance to humiliate me.
I intend to double your pay in 2 weeks. Unless this cranky attitude's permanent. Then go ahead.
I wanted to scream, or throw grapes in his smug face. But, double pay? I can have enough for myself and for Aunt Nancy. Fine, Prince.
Casper. Just call me Casper.
Just as I had expected from a muddy pig prince. Casper hired me just to torture me. Wake up at 5 a.m. and scrub Pigman's boots with my bare hands. This work was already a royal pain. Stupid mud-shoveling prince.
You missed a spot.
Say one more word, I swear I'll fling this at your royal head.
Temper, temper. Not very maid-like.
You're enjoying this.
Immensely.
He made it his duty to give me the dirtiest tasks ever. There were flies, there was animal poop. But what shocked me was how easily he did it all. Show off. Then I tripped over a rake.
You okay there, Dior?
Get out of my life! I tried not to care, but curiosity was killing me. Why would a prince do farm work? Was he broke? Cut off? Pretending? Maybe the palace was just holding on to past glory. But then, how did he afford to pay so many servants? When I asked Aunt Nancy, she just didn't care much about all those things. So I was convinced he probably was just some broke fraud in a crown. Especially after he dragged me to the market to buy food for animals. Where are your guards? Aren't you, like, important?
I am, but you only attract danger when you live loud. No one wants to kidnap a guy who haggles over carrot prices.
So, you don't worry about safety?
Not really. I learned from my parents. They were too royal, too distant. People hated them. They had plenty of foes, and it wasn't long before those foes made their move. So my parents have to live a secluded life. I don't even know where they are now.
Oh.
It's fine. I decided then I'd live differently. No flashy shows of power, just a quiet impact.
His reason for a simple life sounded so noble. But watching him argue over loose change...
So I can't get a 50-cent discount?
Nah, I remain convinced he was definitely a broke prince. 3 weeks into my stay here, I came into his room for my routine cleaning and found him in front of a safe full of cash and gold. What? You're rich!
My parents may not be royalty anymore, but I didn't lose their wealth.
Then why live like this? You've got servants, money. You should be out shopping, partying, wearing designers.
I live to fix my parents' mistake. When I turn 18 and take the crown, the people won't get a king, they'll get a servant.
The life of excess I once had suddenly felt empty.
Just 'cause I have money doesn't mean I should waste it. The farm may be a cover, but when I use earned money to help people, it feels right. It feels like I'm giving, not spending someone else's riches.
Wait, you work, get money, then give it out?
What? It's called giving to charity? Speaking of that, I will be visiting the orphanage tomorrow. Want to come?
That night, my respect for him skyrocketed. He was everything I hadn't been. Grateful, grounded, good. And when I followed him to the orphanage, I realized he wasn't bluffing. He even came with a truckload of gifts. Casper, you came!
Of course I did. I brought someone new, too.
Are you his wife? What? No, I'm just a visitor.
Relax, future queen of awkward.
Casper could tease me all he liked, but that day I began to see who he truly was beyond all that sass. He wasn't performing. He truly cared, and the kids adored him. Thanks to him, I even got some love too. I made this. You're really pretty. Oh, thank you. We spent the whole day laughing, giving, and just being at the orphanage. Something in me changed after that day. I was starting to love the girl I was becoming. The longer I stayed, the more this place felt like home. Then, one night, I got a call from an unknown number. Hello?
Ivy, it's me, Mom!
Mom? Where are you?
Shh, your dad and we're in hiding, but we've arranged something. Meet us at the old bus station outside town. Tomorrow evening, we'll plan our escape. We miss you, sweetheart. And Ivy, don't tell anyone.
The next night, I went, still reeling from the call. At that moment, I thought maybe it would all be okay.
There she is!
But they had a lot of explaining to do. Why did you leave me? Did you really commit fraud?
It was all lies. We vanished to keep you safe, but now we have a plan to reunite. We just need your help.
Help?
We knew that you work for the palace. That's our key.
What are you talking about?
Those royals are swimming in wealth. If you can just get something, cash, jewelry, we'll vanish for good, start fresh.
My mind flashed to Casper's safe, but you want me to steal?
It's not stealing, it's survival. They won't notice. You're underage anyway, so even if you're caught,
You left me. Now you want to use me?
we did it to protect you.
No! You did it for yourselves! You never even checked on me!
We couldn't, they were tracking us.
Just then, I got a text from Casper that read, "We're looking for you. You okay?" I stared at the screen. That one text meant more than all the gifts my parents ever gave me.
I came here hoping you were innocent.
But asking me to steal from my employer, your own sister's workplace, shows me exactly who you are!
Don't be stupid, Ivy. Don't waste this chance. No, I won't be your pawn.
When I returned, I found them waiting, worried.
Ivy, my goodness, where have you been? We've been looking everywhere.
I saw my parents.
You what?
They told me to come with them, that we could run, change our names. They wanted me to steal for them. Casper's eyes went dark, while Aunt Nancy covered her mouth in shock. I almost said yes. For a second, I wanted to. I thought I missed them. But then I remembered everything I've learned here, everything you've taught me, how you chose a different path despite who your parents were. So I came back. Then Aunt Nancy pulled me into a tight hug.
Welcome back, Ivy. And also, you're fired.
What? I just told you I didn't agree to steal!
Pack your things. You're done working here.
Was he serious right now? I was about to explode. Until I saw Aunt Nancy trying not to laugh. Okay, what's really going on?
You're fired as a maid. Not from my life. You're enrolling in my school. Final year, fully funded. Salary stays. Call it a scholarship from your annoying boss.
Wait, are you serious?
I've cleared it with your aunt and the school. Welcome to Royal High School, Princess Dior.
I was so happy I could cry. You scared me. I was about to fight you.
Fight me? With what? Those baby fists?
Oh, now you're in trouble. I thought money was everything, until someone with nothing gave me everything, and someone with everything lived humbly. They taught me that true strength lies not in what you own, but in what you choose when no one's watching.
It was my 17th birthday party. Anyway, I was about to blow the candles when, bam! The front door slammed open and a swarm of FBI rushed in, and then chaos. Sorry to interrupt your party, but Mr. Monroe, we need you to come with us. You're under arrest for fraud. What? My dad is not a criminal. Tell them, Dad. My dad was one of the richest businessmen in the city and the most honest man I knew. There was no way, agents. I'm sorry, Gabby. But how? At this point, everyone had their phones out, recording, and I just wanted to disappear. But the universe wasn't done ruining my life, because as my dad was led outside in cuffs, an agent turned to me. We're freezing all your dad's accounts and seizing all his assets, and that includes your home. Please vacate before the end of the week. And just like that, my perfect life shattered into a million tiny, embarrassing pieces. Happy frickin' birthday to me. A week later, I stood in the grand foyer of our house. Except now, it wasn't ours anymore. Everything was gone. The furniture, the artwork, all packed up and hauled away by the government. All I had left were my clothes and a few photos of my family. I miss you so much, Mom. Dad will be gone for a long time, so I'm going to live with Grandma on her farm. Growing up, it was just Dad and me. Mom had passed away when I was just a baby, and now, sitting alone in the empty room, I couldn't help but wish she was still here. But I knew I couldn't spend the whole day feeling sorry for myself. I had to start a new life. My new home smelled like dirt, goats, and emotional damage. The main house was so old, like probably haunted old. And don't even get me started on Lucifer. And who's that, you ask? He was Grandma's insane, possessed donkey who apparently had a personal vendetta against me. First, he ate my Chanel bag. Then he bit my butt when I tried to lock him in his shed. I was ready to forgive all that. But then, a few days later, Lucifer followed me to school on my very first day. I tried everything to make him leave. Throwing sticks, fake crying, negotiating, but he didn't budge. And just when I thought my morning of suffering couldn't get worse, a motorbike pulled up, and the hottest guy I'd ever seen slid off the bike. Guys, do me a favor. Close your eyes and picture this. Dark hair, sharp jaw, annoying smirk. Probably walked off a book cover on Wattpad. Got it? Now picture me. My face, tomato red, annoyed, and talking to a donkey. Nice ride. Is he like a therapy donkey? As I was busy thinking of a response, Lucifer chose that moment to relieve himself on the pavement, and the guy lost it.
Jace, what did you do to the new girl?
I didn't do anything. She's the one who brought a donkey to school. I didn't bring him. He followed me. Classic Lucifer. Wait, you know him? Everyone knows him. Lucifer, home, now. And much to my surprise, the demon donkey turned and walked away. Whoa, I can't believe you did that. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm Maddie, by the way. Gabby, nice to... And I'm Jace, single and available. More like single and contagious. Stay away from this one, new girl. I definitely will. And I totally plan to. You see, I'd met many guys like Jace, and they were nothing but trouble. So, for the next few days, I stayed away from Jace and his perfect face. But the more I avoided him, the more nagging he became. Like this one morning, I just sat at my desk when I smelled trouble and peppermint gum. You know, scientists say chemistry is all about reactions. And I'm getting a very interesting reaction from you right now. Don't you have anything else to do? Nothing else I'd rather do than make you smile. You're annoying. And you're gorgeous. Okay, that kind of made me smile. Which, of course, Jace took as an invitation to move his seat next to mine. A few weeks later, I was settled in my new school, and had even started looking forward to seeing Jace, when out of nowhere, I received an anonymous text.
I know your secret. Let's play a game. Or else.
Attached to the text was a photo of me on the day of the FBI raid, with my face in full view. No! No one here is supposed to know! I could just imagine the looks I'd get at school. Everyone would treat me like a criminal just because of Dad. Jace would probably never speak to me again. The next morning, I walked into school, terrified. Who was the anonymous texter? A hacker? Someone from my old life? Lucifer, the revenge donkey? Okay, that was unlikely, but not off the table. All morning, I checked my phone for a follow-up message. Nothing. Weird. Maybe it was just a sick prank. But then, right before lunch... Ding! New message. Go to the cafeteria and dump your lunch on yourself, or everyone finds out. Excuse me? What kind of psycho... Another message came in.
I'll be watching.
When the lunch bell rang, I stood in the cafeteria, holding my lunch tray and wondering what to do. If I ignored the blackmailer, my secret would be out. If I did as they asked, I'd humiliate myself in front of the entire school. You look like you're about to throw up or punch someone. Both. You okay? Yep, totally fine. Just reconsidering my entire existence. And with that, I did it. Eyes closed, I lifted my tray and dumped spaghetti and soup all over myself. At first, the cafeteria went dead silent, and then the place erupted. Oh, snap! Way to make a statement, Gabby. Let me guess, TikTok challenge? Actually, yeah. How's that for viral? Enjoy the show, everyone! That was iconic! Unhinged, but iconic. I knew I liked you for a reason. I forced a laugh, pretending I was fine. Little did I know, it was only the beginning. By last period, the entire school was buzzing, and hashtag Pasta Princess was trending on the school chat groups. And I still had no clue who was behind it. To make it worse, that night, the second I put my phone down, ding, new message.
That was quite the show you put on, Pasta Princess.
Time for round 2. Kiss Ryder Walsh tomorrow, or the truth comes out.
I blinked. Ryder Walsh? The literal school heartthrob/basketball god/actual boyfriend of the meanest girl in school? Absolutely not. Furious, I typed back, "No," and I got an instant reply.
Then enjoy watching the whole school find out you're the daughter of a criminal, complete with receipts.
With that threat, an attachment popped up, and when I opened it, my stomach dropped. It was a police report of my dad's arrest and all the nasty stuff he was being charged with. How would this psycho even obtain such a confidential document? It didn't matter, though. I was backed in a corner, and the only way out was to kiss Ryder freaking Walsh. So the next day, I went looking for him, and there he was, sitting next to his girlfriend, Bianca, aka the Queen Bee, aka part-time model and full-time drama queen. It was now or never, so without warning, I kissed him.
What on earth?
In a split second, Bianca's palm landed on my face, and I stumbled backward. Bianca, back off!
She just kissed my boyfriend!
I don't care. If you hit her again, I'll end you. Surprised, Bianca blinked, obviously waiting for Ryder to stand up to Jace. But Ryder was still floating, completely dazed by the kiss. And you, do you have a death wish or something? Come on, let's get out of here before Bianca's minions descend. Thanks for coming to my rescue, but I had it under control. Just then, my phone vibrated with an incoming text, and I freaked out before I even opened it. I tried to breathe and act normal, but it was too late. Jace had already noticed. Hey, what's wrong? You look like you're about to pass out. As I continued to spiral, he took a step towards me, and the next thing I knew, I was in his arms. And I don't know why, but I cracked. I sobbed for what felt like hours. When I finally managed to pull myself together, I showed him the texts, and also told him about my dad. Honestly, I expected him to walk away, but he didn't. I'm gonna find whoever's doing this. I promise. But how? I need to show you something. A short bike ride later, we arrived at Jace's house, and when he led me to his room, I gasped.
Holy wow! Are you Batman?
Nah, I just like programming and stuff. Now let's find the loser blackmailing you. Anxious, I watched Jace plug my phone in, but as soon as he started typing, a bunch of numbers appeared on his computer screen, and then, bam! Everything went black. What just happened? No idea. Hang on. Jace was furiously typing, and that's when my phone buzzed once. Wait, someone just deleted everything on your phone. Okay, whoever this person is, they're starting to freak me out. I'm going to find them, I promise. I won't let anyone hurt you. He looked down at me. We were just inches apart. Was this about to be the moment? No. Yes. Maybe. I have to go. Gabby, wait. When I was out of his room, I heard something. Someone was singing. I followed the voice, which led me into a room down the hall from Jace's room. Inside, dolls, lined up in perfect rows on shelves. On the bed, on the desk, everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Maddie. Maddie? What? How? Why are you here?
Oh, you didn't know? I'm Jace's sister.
His what now? Before I could process it, Jace appeared at the door. Gabby, you need to leave. Now. Whoa! Slow down! What is going on? Why didn't you tell me Maddie is your sister? It's complicated. Look, can we talk tomorrow? It's getting late. With that, Jace led me out and shut the door in my face. What the actual frack? The next day, I went to school ready for answers from Jace. But before I could find him, I saw the principal standing next to my locker. What's going on? Miss Monroe, I received an anonymous tip that you stole tests from my office. What? No, I didn't. Well, if you're telling the truth, open your locker so I can search it. Hands shaking, I opened my locker, and my jaw dropped when a stack of papers fell out. I don't know how those got in my locker. I swear, Enough! You're suspended, Gabriella. Wait, I didn't do this! But the principal didn't even blink. His mind was already made up. And then... Ding.
Looks like the apple didn't fall far from the tree. You're a criminal, just like your dad. Enjoy your suspension, Gabriella.
I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just walked home in silence. By the time I got to Grandma's house, I was boiling. You want secrets? Fine, I'll give you secrets. I pulled out my phone and hit record. Hi, I'm Gabby Monroe, and I haven't been honest with you. Before I moved to this town, I used to be rich. But then the FBI showed up and arrested my dad. And now, someone here at school has been blackmailing me over it. All those crazy things I did at school, someone made me do it. But I'm done being a puppet. Whoever you are, you're pathetic, and I'm not scared of you. Before I could chicken out, I hit send to the entire school. Little did I know, the next day was about to be the craziest day of my life. I woke up to a bazillion messages. Everyone at school had watched my video. Some felt sorry for me, while others hated my guts. But there was one message that caught my attention.
Well played, Gabby. You got guts, and I respect that. You want to know who I am? Meet me at the school rooftop tonight.
I knew it was a trap the moment I saw the message, but I went anyway, because I was done running. Then I discovered something that shook me to the core. It was Maddie?
I knew you'd come.
What's going on? Why did you do all of this?
I was just trying to protect him from you.
Protect who?
Who else? Jace, of course. I saw the way he looked at you, like you were some goddess, but you're not. You're just like your dad, a liar. I couldn't let you hurt my Jace. Your Jace? Isn't Jace your brother? Foster brother. I was going to be sick. Maddie liked Jace, and this whole time she'd been blackmailing me because of him. I had a gut feeling something was off the moment I saw her singing in that eerie room filled with dolls. But this was beyond my imagination. Maddie, I think you need help. The moment the words left my mouth, I knew I should never have said them. Because in the very next second, Maddie transformed into something wild, like a feral cat ready to strike. Shut up! You don't know anything! Then she lunged at me, her nails like daggers, a scream tearing from her throat. Before I could recover, she was on me, nails slashing through the air, wild eyes locked on mine. Maddie, stop! I stumbled backward, heart pounding, feet skidding against the gravel rooftop. One more step, and I might have lost my balance. But I didn't, because a hand grabbed me and pulled me into a hug. I got you. Jace! I did it for you! She's a criminal! Enough, Maddie! I've already talked to Mom and Dad. They're taking you back to the hospital tonight. No! They can't do that! I'll be good, I promise! Please, Jace! As Maddie fell to her knees, school security burst through the door, and a few minutes later, Maddie was taken into an ambulance. You okay? Not now, but I will be. I know I owe you some answers. And so, back at Grandma's, Jace proceeded to tell me a crazy story. Jace's mom was a psychiatrist, and a few months ago, she went to do some counseling at a group home, and that's where she met Maddie. After a few weeks of speaking to Maddie, Jace's mom had brought Maddie home to live with them. At first, Maddie seemed fine, but then she'd have moments where she completely lost it. Dad asked Mom to take her back to the group home, but I stood up for Maddie and asked Mom to let her stay. I felt sorry for her. And that's when Maddie's obsession with you began. Yeah, I thought it was harmless, but now I know better. I'm just glad no one got seriously hurt, and I hope she gets the help she needs. You're so kind. That's why Before he could complete his sentence, something hit my butt. Lucifer! Talk about a ruined moment. But I wasn't really mad, though. I knew Jace and I had so many more happy moments to come.
Hi guys, I'm Mia, a princess from, of course, not the kingdom of Far Far Away, but another relatively small country in Europe, which must not be named. That was a Harry Potter reference, in case you didn't notice. Anyway, before I tell you my amazing story, like and subscribe, please? Nah, that's an order.
Your Royal Highness, please come down here.
In your dreams! Guys, just admit it. You've also dreamed of being able to fly far away with lots of balloons. At least once, right? I'm living your dream right now. But just as I was enjoying the fresh air, actually, the air was kinda thin up here. Anyway, out of nowhere, a flock of birds from the opposite direction flew straight into the balloons. 1, then 2, then 3 popped!
Catch the princess!
No! I cannot die like this! Ah! So, at my funeral... Just kidding! Did you seriously think I died? I didn't, but instead I was immediately taken to the palace in front of the king and Mom, who wasn't very happy with what I just did.
How could you do something reckless like that? Did you forget who you are? Your Majesty, please reprimand her properly so she would not repeat this sort of behavior. That's right. How could you be so careless? Next time prepare more balloons, or at least let me join you. Your Majesty!
You all know who sides with who now. Growing up, Dad would let me join him in his hunting adventures, but we actually never hunted anything. Instead, we would explore explore the beautiful sceneries together and learn interesting survival tricks. Those hunting trips called the deepest passion for adventures inside me. But of course, Mom only wanted to keep me inside the palace. It's too dangerous. Mia, remember who you are. Or, what's your manners? But I couldn't care less about her because Dad always got my back. But everything changed when I was 15. Dad suddenly had a stroke, then fell into a coma. Mom ascended the throne, and my life officially became hell on earth. I'm not even blowing it up. I was not allowed to laugh out loud, eat too much, or even leave the palace anymore. She was so paranoid that she even insisted I have a bodyguard. One day, I was reading a book when the sleepy monster came to visit me. So I asked my bodyguard to play my favorite game with me. Let's take turns naming words starting with the letter B. Whoever loses will have to do a handstand walk around the palace. I'll go first. Bite. After a few rounds back and forth, we started running out of words starting with B.
I have a word, but I can't say it.
Oh, come on. Say it or I'll have you fired.
But
Right then, Mom came in out of nowhere and immediately fired him just because of using improper language.
what choice do I have, really?
I tried to negotiate with Mom to let it slide, but she was impossible. So I had another bodyguard, who just moved here from the North Pole. Negotiation wasn't even in his dictionary. One time, I wanted to try this Peter Parker battery experiment, but knowing my bodyguard would never allow it, I asked him to go buy me a chocolate shake. So here I am, ready to become the next Spider-Man. Warning, do not try this at home. Yeah, I'm talking to you all. So anyway, the experiment was quite successful, but my new bodyguard was also fired shortly after. He didn't even know I was doing this. It was my fault this time, Mom. Mom! Then, after a short while of many other recruitments and reconsiderations, the Queen finally found another bodyguard who, according to her, had given up her noble position in the royal family to train in the army. You will learn a lot from her, yada yada yada. Does her name happen to be Mulan too? But the moment I met my new bodyguard, I thought she was Miss Universe in disguise. Skin as white as snow, lips red as the rose, and hair black as ebony. She looked as fragile as Snow White. How was she meant to protect me? I guess I have to test her then. Come at me already. Before I could process, she rushed towards me faster than the speed of light, and I instantly found myself locked in.
Your Royal Highness, I'm Grace. I'll be your bodyguard from now on.
Got it. Now could you release me? I was finally freed from her grip. So, Lady Grace, is it true you gave up your title to train in the army?
That is true, Your Royal Highness.
Just call me Mia. Anyway, why did you do that?
I just wanted to follow my martial arts dreams without any restrictions.
Grace and I talked some more, and I found out she was actually very pleasant to be with. Over time, Grace and I became closer. She was excellent at her job, protecting me from any trouble I caused for myself. But whenever she could, she would also try to bring me along with her on palace duties. She knew how much I loved to be outside the palace. Everything was better with Grace, until one day after I turned 17, the Queen summoned me in to announce a life-altering news.
According to the Royal Covenant, as soon as a princess turns 17, her engagement ceremony is to be held.
What? Engagement? There's no way I'll get married at the age of 17 or 18. And should I at least know the name of the unlucky guy? Right then, a guy stepped in.
Nice meeting you again, princess.
Liam, the Duke from a neighboring country? I met him before through some royal parties. Oh gosh, he smelled like he just soaked himself in 1001 bottles of Dior Sauvage. I mean, look at the way he stroked his hair or applied chapstick. My stomach was literally on strike seeing all of this. Ugh! No, I will not marry anyone. If you guys insist, I'll go on a hunger strike. Only, I didn't know hunger strikes require a great deal of mental strength, which I don't have. After skipping lunch, I almost passed out already. Luckily, Grace sneaked in some food for me. Thank you, thank you. There's no way I'm gonna skip my 2 p.m. chocolate shake either.
I understand what you mean, Your Highness.
It's all because of that stupid Liam guy. Did you see how he acted? He looked like a donkey.
Actually, I used to attend some royal classes with the Duke before I gave up royalty.
Oh yeah? I bet he failed all the classes. There was no grace in that man.
No, he was actually very smart, and he cares a lot about others. You know, a lot of girls in the classes were dying to get with him, so maybe you should just give him some time, Your Highness.
All right, as long as you get me my chocolate shake. It seemed like the hunger strike really worked, since the next day the Queen came into my room looking all worried.
Mia, have you seriously not been eating?
Yes, Mom. I can't get married. Right then, Marcus, Mom's private secretary, came in, interrupting my marvelous acting.
Your Majesty, please consider joining the charity program in the Southern Village. I said I will not go! But I'm afraid since the king became unconscious, the royal reputation hasn't been as good as it used to be. Having a member of the royal family there would help.
Ooh, a charity program in a southern village? This screams my ticket to freedom. If I go, I could at least delay the stupid marriage. Plus, I'll get to explore the village. Your Majesty, perhaps you could allow me to join the charity program on behalf of the royal family?
That is too risky. Actually, having the princess there would also help promote her image as well, given that she is the next in line to the throne. But,
Mom, this is the only way to lift my gloomy dying spirits.
all right.
Thank you, Mom. This is what a high IQ will get you in life. It seemed like the engagement ceremony with Liam would have to wait, because I, the princess, am setting off to save the world. But man proposes, God disposes. When I arrived there, everything was really programmed. Everyone was dressed up, holding flower bouquets, and standing on both sides of the road welcoming me. As soon as they saw me, they all started applauding. I haven't even done anything praiseworthy. Oh wait, should I smile or should I grin? How many teeth should be revealed? Oops, I forgot to check myself in the mirror this morning. Is there any lipstick or veggie stuck on my teeth from breakfast? Suddenly, I noticed a boy with a bouquet of deep red roses looking at me curiously. Are those for me? Thank you very much. No? I guess they're for your mom then. I patted him on the head, stopped to all these behind-the-scenes bloopers. As I continued walking, I saw a well-groomed gentleman wearing a hat in front of me. Did the locals here even prepare a moonwalk performance to welcome me? That's so thoughtful. But as I was about to approach, he reached out to stop me and lifted his hat, revealing a cheesy smile. Wait a second. I think I'd seen that smile somewhere else before.
Bonjour, Principessa. Here we meet again.
Liam? Why are you here?
I don't know if you've heard it before, but there's a Chinese proverb that says, if it be fated, even 1,000 miles cannot keep us apart.
Ugh, I've come all the way here and still can't seem to escape this guy. I'm sure Mom was behind this. So you must also know the other saying in Chinese. But if it not be fated, we shall not encounter each other, even if we are face to face. Even after I literally spelled out, I do not wish to see your face like that, he still didn't bat an eye and continued acting cheesy. He even messed around with Grace, too, making her all embarrassed. I had to save her out of there. Just ignore him. I thought upon coming here, I would be free to wander around to explore the surroundings and meet up with new people, but
without the Queen's approval, Your Highness is not allowed to go out.
Then for food, we were served with all different kinds of exquisite cuisines. So, are we doing charity or on a vacation?
Yeah, right. How can the two of us finish all this food by ourselves? You should join us too.
That's right. Everyone come join us. We can't, Your Highness. Okay, either you all sit down or I'll have you fired. That's the power of being a princess. So, turned out life here was no different from back at the palace. I had to participate in loads of charity duties that didn't have anything to do with charity at all. Worse still, I couldn't even enjoy my snooze privilege anymore. Rise and shine, princess. Today's schedule begins with breakfast at 7 a.m., accompanied by the Duke, followed by an interview with reporters at 8 a.m. At 10:30, Your Highness and the Duke will deliver gifts to residents of the lodge and take photos with the President and First Lady of France. Then at 11:30, all right, at least let me go squeeze the cheese first.
No, Princess, we don't have any cheese for today's breakfast. If I'm not mistaken, the breakfast menu includes...
No, Grace, I mean I gotta go bake a loaf, plant some corn, I need to go to the bathroom ASAP. Well, breakfast was ruined because of Liam. If it wasn't for Grace, I would have jumped over and torn him apart already. But now I still have to endure this terrible human being's company for the interview. Let's take a beautiful photo of the princess and the Duke together. I angrily looked into the camera while Liam grinned stupidly. Ugh, you guys just want nice pictures of me and Liam? I immediately posed in 101 different positions. Everyone's face went from surprised to confused to speechless. Princess? My short-lived spotlight was suddenly taken when Liam also started crawling on the ground and posing like a Zara model.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Take as many photos as you want.
Did he really go that far? After a whole day of taking photos and interviews, and being pretty and breathing, I was exhausted. But I still need to attend this dinner with the President and the First Lady of France. I tried to follow along with the conversation, but soon, all the laughter and chatter around me slowly faded away. Then I suddenly saw myself turning into a rabbit, running free around the carrot field, hanging out with my turtle friend. As I turned around to look for him, a farmer suddenly appeared and lifted me up. Ah! Turned out the farmer was Grace. Oh? Did I say something funny? Ahem. Right when I was staring daggers at Liam, he suddenly turned serious.
Please excuse me. I suffer from a condition called laugh-a-lot from a young age.
What is laugh-a-lot? How come I have never heard of it?
Oh, only about 0.01% of the population suffers from this, so it's not common. People with laugh-a-lot syndrome have no control over their mouth and jaw muscles, or when to laugh. Oh, I understand. I'm so sorry about that. You're still so young. I tried so hard to hold back my laughter. How could the First Lady not figure out Liam was just messing with her? It's been a few days, and all I did was eat, sleep, and take pictures. I've had enough. One morning, I called Grayson. The past couple of days have been exhausting, and I've not been feeling well. I'm just gonna rest today. Don't let anyone disturb me. I understand, Your Highness.
I should have done this sooner. The front gate was heavily guarded, so I had to sneak out from the backyard. But why was this wall so high? I was about to climb the wall when suddenly I heard a rustling sound below. Huh? A dog hole? Man, I'm in this too deep already. There's no going back. I tried to squeeze through, but I might have had a little too much fruit for breakfast. Come on, you got this! Phew! Finally, I took a deep breath. So this is what freedom smells like. I followed the road ahead and soon saw a village in the distance. I excitedly skipped towards it, but I suddenly stepped on something that I hope was not man-made. Well, it wasn't man-made, but horse-made. When I was figuring out what to do next, someone passed by. He was tall and handsome, just like a male character walking straight out of a Japanese manga. But why does it have to be in this embarrassing situation? When I was figuring out what to do next, someone passed by. He was tall and handsome, just like a male character walking straight out of a Japanese manga. But why does it have to be in this embarrassing situation?
After what feels like an eternity of bombastic side eyes, he finally got close to me, opened his bag, and pulled out an old pair of shoes. I was dreaming about how he would help me put them on, like in the movies when he coldly tossed the shoes next to me. That should do. Then he just left. Hey, you! Can't you at least help me get out of this? The guy sighed, then turned around to help me. Do you even know who I am? Of course I do, Your Highness.
What's with that attitude of yours?
The royal family never cared to visit this poor village. Why is Your Highness troubling herself here?
Is that so? Well, if that's the case, I want you to show me around so I know how my people are doing. Stranger. The guy seemed surprised at my request, but then put on the sweetest smile.
My name's Will, and of course, I can give you a tour. Holy Mother of God, if his judgy look was enough to make you question your self-worth, his smile could make you feel like you're the luckiest girl in the world. But before you can wander around, you need to blend in first. People here don't really like the members of the royalty.
Then he gave me some old clothes from his bag.
You can go in there.
What? Do I look like I belong in there?
No one's gonna judge you. Except some chickens, maybe.
Hey, I can behead you in 1 second.
I'm just kidding. You're safe in there.
This was really the middle of the cornfield, so I had to go in and got changed quick. This Will guy's better not be fooling around. And he did not. He walked me around and told me about the lives of the villagers here. I was shocked to see the houses in such poor conditions. How come I only see women and children here? Where are all the men?
Young people, especially men, all went away trying to find jobs. The living conditions here are hard.
I see. But then, who helps take care of the kids and the elderly?
We're all just a big family, so everyone kind of counts on each other to make it through.
And you're the only guy around?
Actually, I was going to leave too, but then I just didn't have the heart to, so I decided to stay here to take care of everyone.
I was shocked to learn about everything. All this time while I was sheltered in my gated castle, attending useless events at the lodge in name of charity. People out here have been struggling. And this guy, Will, has done more for others than I ever did. I was wrong about him. Right then, a piercing voice came shaking the earth beneath my feet.
Your Highness! What do you think you're doing? Oh my God, what kind of rags are you dressed in? Are you trying to harm the princess? Guards, restrain him!
No, Grace, I'm fine! Look! The guards finally let go of Will.
You can't be out here, princess. You have to return to the lodge ASAP before word gets out.
Next thing I knew, I was escorted away. Thank you! I'll return the shoes to you! Man, Grace is always a party pooper. As soon as we got back to the lodge, Grace instantly turned into a talking machine, going on and on about how dangerous it was, how reckless I was. But you know, one of my greatest strengths is selective listening. So I take what she said with a spoon of salt. I mean, a grain of salt.
Everything I just said to you goes in one ear and out the other, doesn't it?
Yep, you got that right. Anyway, I had this idea while cruising around the village. I want to help better the lives of the people there.
What else, princess?
I'm serious. It's like I finally found my life's purpose as a princess all these years.
Just don't get yourself into trouble is all I'm asking for.
You got it. That night, I racked my brain trying to think about how I could help the villagers. Aha! I'll give them the nicest things in the world, just like how the fairy godmother helped Cinderella. So the next day, I ordered my servants to pack boxes of gifts to deliver to Will and the other villagers. If you could have anything from the royal family, what would you want?
I'm so sorry, Princess. I don't know what I did wrong. Please don't fire me.
Chill out. You're not fired. Just answer me.
I don't know. Maybe expensive clothes made out of cashmere or mulberry silk would be nice.
Right. Pack all the royal gowns then. From blueberry silk, of course.
Princess, it's mulberry.
Yeah, that. What else? Get all my tiaras too.
But that's your tiaras, Princess.
Nah, I never wear them anyway. Oh, don't forget some royal tableware and tea sets too. I want my people to have the most enjoyable dining experience. After having the gifts sent over, I also gave the order to build a tea house in the village where people could read and have a cup of tea together. It feels so nice to finally be able to do some real charity. In the days following, I still had to resume my charity duties at the lodge, namely helping out with the laundry. But of course, it was just for photos. Feeling exhausted, I decided to get a massage with Liam and Grace afterwards. But who knows, it would tickle so much. It's like a 1,000 feathers poking at my soles.
Your Highness, are you okay? Looks like you're dying over there.
Help! Help me! Strangely, after the massage disaster, it was like something clicked among the three of us. We would hang out together, and our favorite thing to do was spilling the tea about the royal family. Well, not literally.
The Queen mustn't know about this.
Nah, it's fine. The Queen always acts tough and strict, but did you guys know that she's actually scared of the microwave?
Your Highness! I heard some other rumors on the streets too. A royal member once snatched a scarf from a woman and never gave it back just because they liked it so much.
Oh, I bet it's Princess Aurora. She's crazy about fashion and all that nonsense. We never get along though. But just when a maid was putting down a spoon next to me, the butler suddenly flew off the handle.
This is the dessert spoon, and that is the teaspoon. How could you not know this?
I'm terribly sorry, Princess.
It's just a spoon. You're excused. Don't worry about it.
Agreed. We don't care about the stupid rules. Now, if you could leave us alone. They finally left. Ugh. I wonder if these people ever got bored of themselves being boring. Even though I had fun with Grace and Liam for the past couple of days, I've been longing to get out of the lodge again and explore the grounds. So one time, while Grace was back at the palace running some errands, I immediately took my golden opportunity. I was so excited to see how my people were doing with all the nice things I've sent to them. Oh, I bet they're looking as elegant as the royal family now. Maybe they're busy riding the horses I sent. Oh, actually, they might even be having a tea party now. I can't wait to join them. But when I got there, the village looks the same. And is that the sovereign's orb they're playing with? No, that's not a toy, and you're holding it upside down. That's when I turned to see, by the river, the woman pounding on the cloves with golden golf clubs from the late king. Just when I was heading towards them, I caught sight of the tea house, full of pigs, horses, and chickens inside. Did they seriously turn my elegant tea house into a barn? I guess animals are having a grand tea party in there. Right then, some woman passing by noticed me.
Is that the princess? I can't believe she still has the audacity to show up here.
I thought she was different, but she's just like the rest of the royal family. A bunch of useless, ignorant snobs. They don't even know what we need. What's all the use in these luxuries when we can't even afford basic necessities? I felt like reality had smacked me in the face for the first time in my life. Turned out I wasn't helping them at all. Just then, I saw Will nearby, but upon seeing me, he just sighed and turned away to leave. Trust me, all I wanted was to help out, but I just don't know how.
You should just go back to your lodge, princess.
No, let me stay here and live with everyone to understand what my people are going through.
That's not possible. You grew up with abundance and wouldn't last a day here.
That's why I want to learn, so I could really be helpful and give everyone what they need. Please help me, Will. He still seemed hesitant. Just treat me like everyone else here. I promise I'll try my best. Will seemed surprised at how determined I was, and he agreed to give me a chance. I was over the moon and ready to start a new venture. But when I got back to the lodge to pack my things, I was informed that the charity program was over and all of us were to return to the palace the next day. I had to go find Liam. Seeing him reading in the garden, I told him I had some emergency that needed my attention here and asked if he could help cover up for me. I was ready to get on my knees if I needed to when...
Sure thing. Just do whatever you need to.
But aren't you mad?
I know I was supposed to be spending time with you just as the queen wanted me to. You know, the marriage and stuff.
Girl, I got your back.
Saying that, he got on the phone with my mom. Your Majesty, the princess and I are enjoying our time together so much and wish to be allowed to extend our stays here. And of course, the queen was more than happy to agree. But I knew there was one more obstacle to overcome. Grace! When I told her I needed to live outside the lodge for a while, she immediately opposed the idea. I'm serious, Grace. I know you worry about me, but I am the princess. I'm supposed to help the very people I rule, but I failed to do that so far. And I'm here enjoying my privileges on my people's hard work. What kind of princess am I? Plus, Liam and I don't have feelings for each other anyway. Grace, you gotta help me. After long hours of arguing, Grace finally caved. I was so ecstatic that I jumped over to hug her. Giddy up! Only, life in the village was slightly different from the palace. People here actually grow their own food. Doesn't everyone's food come from the store?
No, we don't have stores here. Everything comes from the ground.
Even my afternoon chocolate shake with 2 pumps of mocha?
Yes, even your chocolate shake with 2 pumps of mocha. In fact, I bet it's even better. I'll make one for you later.
Just then, I saw Mrs. Stell struggling to pluck up the carrots, so I came over to help her. Don't you worry, I got this. But, who knew the carrot was holding on to dear ground? Just when I was about to give up, it suddenly came off the ground and ended up flying straight over my head, hitting, well...
Maybe it's better you go feed the chicken.
But when I approached the chicken, I saw an egg on the ground, so I picked it up. The chicken suddenly turned to look at me as if they all spotted their sworn enemy. All that was left to do was run! Not until Will came in and saved the day did all the chickens calm themselves down. You seem to know a lot about life here.
Of course, I've lived here since the day I was born, though I don't really know who my parents are.
Where are your parents?
I'm actually an orphan, being brought up by the people here. They didn't have much, but were raising me with all their hearts. That's why I want to stay here and take care of them now that they're getting older.
I was touched by his story and realized how nice people could be to each other, against all odds.
Let's go fix the roofs. The storm's coming.
Is there something you can't do, Mr. Know-It-All?
Well, actually, yes. I've been living here for so long, I don't know how to impress a girl.
Who are you kidding? I bet girls are dying to sweep you off your feet already.
Are you?
For a second, I found myself lost in the dreamy haze of his eyes. No, Mia, you're here to help others, not to fool around. Come on, let's go fix the roofs. Later that day, Will led me to the garden and showed me the traditional way of making chocolate.
And just like this, you keep grinding until it becomes a thick paste.
I got to try it with Will holding my hand. The two of us were so close together. I could hear my heart pounding against my chest. Is this the rush they all talked about in the fairy tales? When we finished, Will made a fresh batch of hot chocolate and gave me one. When I took a sip, a rich, nutty, and earthy flavor instantly warmed me up inside. Will was right. This is better than any Starbucks I ever had. The following days were the most fun I've had in my entire life. I still found it hard to navigate through the hardships here, but Will was always by my side. And the people here, once I got to know them better, they all started to warm up to me too. Every Friday, the whole village would gather around a bonfire to tell each other the oldest tales.
Enough with the nightingale. I want to know when we'll hear the happy ending for the tale of Mir and Will.
We all know the happy ending is as clear as day already. I found my cheeks warming up to the jokes. I wondered what was on his mind as I caught Will blushing also. Everything was like a dream, until one morning Will and the other villagers had to go harvest the crop, and I stayed home to help with some chores. While I was hanging the cloves, I got all shook up by a familiar voice.
What do you think you're doing, Mia?
Everything was like a dream, until one morning Will and the other villagers had to go harvest the crop, and I stayed home to help with some chores. While I was hanging the cloves, I got all shook up by a familiar voice.
What do you think you're doing, Mia?
Mom? Why are you here?
I should be the one asking that question. Guard, take the princess away, now!
The two guards immediately followed Mom's orders. Each took one side of my arms and led me away. Are we playing Interpol and the Wanted or what? Get off of me! I can walk by myself. I moved forward but couldn't help turning around a few times to look at Wellspring Village before I got out of sight. I didn't even have a chance to say goodbye to anyone in the village. She meant she didn't get to see Will off. Nah, you idiot. She meant she didn't get to kiss him goodbye. Mwah, mwah. Shut up, you two. Right then, Grace and Liam turned to look at me, extremely worried. Don't look at me like that. I was just talking to the moon, you know. I meant to myself. The queen interrupted me. Don't you think I deserve some explanation for your ignorant act, Mia?
Before I could say anything, Liam came to my defense.
Your Majesty, please don't be mad at the princess. I'm also at fault. I wasn't asking you!
I felt grateful but also sorry for Liam. He had helped me cover up my outings, yet got dragged into all this mess. Mom, how can you call it a charity program when all you do is get dressed up, have lavish parties, and take pictures? I was just trying to help my people. Real help. So if anyone was acting ignorant, it was not me.
Your Royal Highness, the princess did not mean that. She meant... You even dared to speak for the princess? Speak for yourself. I trusted you with the princess's safety, and you dared to go against my order and let her out. You're fired, Grace.
No. You can't do that. Grace has nothing to do with this. It was me.
That's enough, Mia. It's time you grow up and learn to be a true princess. I have decided to move up your engagement ceremony with the Duke. Within the following week, you better behave yourself.
What? No way, Mom! No matter how hard I tried to call her back, she didn't turn around. Aren't you gonna do something about it? You and I have to stop this stupid marriage.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? We don't have feelings for each other.
Mia, you and I both know we cannot go against the royals' rules. Plus, I wasn't about to say this, but affection can be built up with time.
Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have said that.
Then I stormed off. When I walked past Grace, her frozen face and teary eyes hurt me even more.
The next couple days, the guards followed me 24/7. Are you gonna go in with me or what?
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'll wait outside.
Another time, feeling extremely bored, I took a stroll around the palace. Why are you following me from behind like that? Am I your prisoner?
Pardon me, Your Highness.
Then he swiftly walked in front of me, leading the way. How dare you walk in front of me? Are you the king?
I'm sorry.
So he slowed down and walked side to side with me. Hey, you are not my friend to be walking next to me like that.
Your Royal Highness, I'm not allowed to walk behind you, in front of you, or next to you. Please tell me where it should be then.
Ugh, can't he just figure it out himself? I walked off, leaving him wailing behind. How embarrassing.
Your Highness!
Of course, this time I knew that there was no way I could escape the palace. Having no one or no place to turn to, I could only seek solace from Dad. Every day I went to his room, talked or read a book to him. I missed all the fondest memories of us two traveling and having fun together. That was during Halloween when I was 10. Dad and I dressed up as Anna and Elsa without telling anyone and showed up in front of someone's house.
Trick or treat! King Daniel? No, wrong house, sorry.
Turned out the man was a reporter, so he instantly recognized Dad. Gosh, that time was so hilarious, I thought I peed my pants while running. But those happy, carefree days were long gone. Even though I knew Dad was in a deep sleep, I still poured my heart out, telling him everything that had happened.
Learned to be a true princess.
Every Friday, the whole village would gather around a bonfire to tell him that I was about to be married to someone that I had no feelings for. I miss you so much. Please wake up and put an end to all this. I can't even talk to Mom anymore. Then, I found myself sobbing next to Dad. The next couple days, I couldn't help thinking about Will and the villagers. Does he know I'm about to get married? Just then, I heard some maids talking at the corner. Have you heard about the crazy guy trying to break into the palace? Yeah, he tried to disguise himself as a food supplier, then as a garbage truck driver, and even risked hiding himself in the fish reefer just to get inside the walls. I suddenly felt a thump in my chest. What does he look like? Do you know his name? I don't know his name, Your Highness. He's quite tall and has dark hair. It gotta be Will. I wonder if he's okay. One night I was with Dad, reading for him as usual. I must have dozed off there and been taken back to my room, as I found myself woken up in my bed, hearing all the noisy altercations downstairs. I stepped out to the balcony to see what was going on there, and I couldn't believe my eyes. There he was, being taken away by the royal guards. What is he doing here? I immediately went to find the Queen. What's going on, Mom? Why are the guards taking Will away?
He has quite some nerve to break into the palace asking to meet the princess.
Please let him go, Mom. Don't you think he needs a lesson or two? If he doesn't leave here safe and sound, you will not have me for the wedding with Liam tomorrow.
Are you threatening me? How dare you?
There's nothing I wouldn't do. Saying that, I left. I never went this far, but that's the only way I could protect Will. I returned to my room when everything was quiet again. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my shoulder and almost screamed out loud. Grace! Shh! Why are you here? How did you get in here? Oh God, I missed you so much. Are you doing okay these days?
I got in while the guards took Will away. And I'm fine, Your Highness.
You saw Will too? Is he fine? Did he get hurt somewhere?
Will is fine, don't you worry. And actually, I'm here to take you to meet up with Will. We have a plan to help you escape the engagement ceremony tomorrow.
Then, Grace gave me a truck driver uniform and I quickly got changed. I hopped on the truck and Grace drove it to the gate. That was when we got stopped by the guards.
Stop there. Who are you and where are you going? Did I see you come in?
We're supplying food for the wedding tomorrow. We have been here since this morning. The guard gave me a look as I felt my heart pounding in my chest before he finally let us go. Phew! Out of the palace, Grace immediately drove us across the forest at a speed faster than the Flash driving the truck. Slow down, Grace! But she didn't reply to me. Instead, she accelerated. I held onto the car as my heart almost jumped out of my chest, and we finally made a stop. As I got out of the car, I realized we were standing by a rocky cliff. Didn't you say we were meeting up with Will? Why are we here? It looked kind of scary. But as I turned around, Grace was right behind me. Grace, what are you doing? I lied to you. There was no arrangement between Will and I, just us two here. But why? Stop, you're making me scared. Why can't you see it? We're in love. Who? You and Will? No, the Duke who will be engaged to you by tomorrow. We're together. That sounds nice. I mean, you and Liam together? But since when? We met and knew each other before, but we only developed feelings for each other recently when we spent time together at the lodge. But then you stole him from me. Suddenly, Grace lunged to push me to the end of the cliff. No. You know Liam and I. We both don't want this marriage. Before I could finish, Grace broke down crying. I knew that. I know you don't want him either. But Liam and we talked about it and he said there was no way we could be together. As I gave up royalty and I'm just a commoner now. And worse, it seemed like Liam was going along with the royal order and accepted this marriage. I don't know what to do anymore. I've never seen this side of her. To me, Grace had always been the toughest, most responsible bodyguard who protected me through everything. But she's just a girl after all. I gave her a warm hug and felt tears streaming down my face as well. The next morning, everyone gathered to witness the moment Liam and I became an official item. But right when Liam was about to put the ring on my finger, I immediately took my hand back. I oppose this marriage. When I was about to continue, someone else spoke up.
We also oppose the marriage.
I was shocked to see Will leading other villagers in.
During the charity program, while the royal family was busy fooling around in that luxurious lodge, the princess was the only one who actually cared to even visit our village. If anyone deserves happiness, it should be the princess.
That's right. The princess deserves to be with someone she loves and live happily ever after. That's right. I was so touched to see the familiar faces I hadn't seen in a while. Then, I saw the smile and endearing look from Will. Can someone get more handsome after just a few weeks like that? Liam suddenly spoke up.
I oppose this marriage because I'm in love with someone else. Grace, I used to be a coward for not standing up against the royal's order. I thought I wanted to pay back the king for helping my father in the past. But the princess and everyone here made me realize I only had one life to live and I can't afford to hurt anyone. Not Grace, not the princess either.
The crowd fell into chaos, and I could feel the queen boiling up. Right then, a stern voice came, silencing everyone.
This morning, the princess was up very early, went to find me and cried her heart out, disrupting my sleep. So, I had to wake up to announce this marriage is off. Instead, the princess is allowed to be with whoever her heart desires.
No words could describe the burst of happiness I was feeling as I lunged to hug Dad. But that wasn't it. Dad also decided to make Will the baronet of his village to oversee developments from now on.
You two have my blessings, and could return to Wellspring Village from today.
Hand in hand, Will and I ran out of there, amidst the loudest cheers from all Wellspring villagers and other wedding guests. With the king's approval, I returned to the palace and packed my things to leave. I saw the queen on my way out, but she just turned away coldly without saying anything. Guess some things never change. When everything was ready, Marcus suddenly came to find me.
Your Highness, the queen actually loves and cares about you a lot.
Is that so? She didn't even bother to see me off.
There's something about the queen I think you ought to know.
Marcus and I went to the garden for a private chat when Marcus shared the untold truth about my mom. She was actually a commoner when she married to Dad. Right after the marriage, even though she had become the queen, the royal family never showed her the respect she deserved.
That was why the queen always tried her best to act royal and cover any traces of her humble background. You might think she's always been too strict, too controlling to you, but deep down the queen just wants you to fit in and never be looked down upon like she was.
Seeing me deep in thought, Marcus continued.
Please understand, it was just her love for you. She's a mother after all, who happened to be a queen as well.
I ran to find the queen, who was sitting quietly in the library. She looked like she had cried a lot. Your Majesty, Marcus had just seen me. I know everything now about you and the royal family. Is that so? Seeing her still putting up her cold front, I ran to hug her, something I hadn't done in a long time. You could have just told me how much you had to go through. And you could count on me whenever it gets tough, you know? We're a family. I felt warm tears on my back. I'm
I'm so sorry, Mia. I've been so controlling that I forgot you have always been a kind, lovely daughter of mine. I was trying to help you, but I forgot I wasn't giving you the right kind of help. I'm sorry, my darling.
With the Queen's blessing, I went off to Wellspring with Will, and 3 years have passed since. I've built for myself a little family.
Mama, Papa, look who's here!
I turned to look and saw the king and queen approaching us. Look how much my little boy has grown. Everything looks so different here. I almost didn't recognize this place anymore. All thanks to the princess for bringing lots of agriculture specialists in here. Our crops have been better than ever, and we have more than enough food for everyone. Now we are trading with other towns, too. That's right. We also have drinking water now, and men are coming back to help build a village as well. Well, well, my little Mia has become a great princess, huh?
It's not me. It's a blessing from you both, Your Majesty. Hi guys, it's me again, Mia, the princess from a country which must not be named. My story has been told, but obviously you guys are not satisfied and wanted to see me fall off that cliff, didn't you? Yeah, so quiet up, listen down. Nope, scratch that and reverse it. Let's dive right in. Suddenly, Grace lunged to push me to the end of the cliff. No, you know Liam and I, we both don't want this marriage. Before I could finish, Grace broke down crying. I knew that. I know you don't want him either, but Liam and we talked about it and he said there was no way we could be together, as I gave up royalty and I'm just a commoner now. And worse, it seemed like Liam was going along with the royal order and accepted this marriage. I don't know what to do anymore. Mia was surprised to see the soft side of Grace. She was crouching down to comfort Grace when the cliff where she was standing suddenly collapsed and she fell off. Grace was too stunned to hold Mia back. Feeling extremely guilty and devastated, Grace returned to the palace to inform the queen about what had happened, and the queen immediately ordered her guards to search for the princess, but to no avail. After that, Grace had to face jail time. Liam visited her and apologized for not being able to stand up for her, as well as promised to wait for her. The queen was grief-stricken and regretted what she had done to the princess, so she traveled far and wide to do charity. Not long after, the king also woke up from his coma, and the quest to find Mia had never stopped after all those years. One day, on their palace duties, the king and queen reached Wellspring Village. There, they saw a boy looking exactly like Princess Mia. The queen approached the boy to talk when he suddenly called his parents. The queen turned around to see Princess Mia and Will together. There she was, surprised to learn that on the day of the Princess Mia's accident, Grace had actually found her and took her back to Will's village. Then a healer visited Mia and took care of her. Upon waking up, Mia had decided to stay at Wellspring to help develop the village into a better community. Unbeknownst to her, Grace had taken the fall for everything, so that the royal family would stop prying into the accident and finding out the princess's whereabouts. Grace had sacrificed her freedom so that the princess could have hers. After hearing about what had happened to Grace, Mia quickly returned to the palace to pardon her. The two hugged each other in tears. All the misunderstandings between Mia and the queen had also been cleared. Princess Mia and Will returned to the palace, while Liam and Grace finally got together as well. It was a happy ending all around, and they lived happily ever after. Because the princess is currently unavailable, wink wink, I'm here to ask you all, which ending do you prefer? Let me know in the comments, and the princess will see you around, because she is busy living happily ever after. Bye!
So, my dream of conquering Hollywood and becoming a world-renowned actress is finally beginning. Today is my first casting. Oh boy, I hope it runs smoothly. Now I just have to change my clothes. I heard that Jenny Sinclair is here too. She's bound to get the main role, as her billionaire dad is too influential for her to not to. Ugh, you mean Jenny? The talentless eye candy? She's nothing special. Her dad's loaded, and it's rumored her mom is a famous actress. But after giving birth to her, she abandoned her for a movie role. This is so unfair. How were we meant to compete with some rich girl with a paternal sob story? Yes, I'm Jenny Sinclair, the daughter of billionaire Rod Sinclair and the rumored daughter of a mysterious famous actress. People think growing up in wealth means my life is super easy. Wrong. My dad refuses to talk to me about my mother, hence even I myself don't know who she is, and Dad is also completely against my acting dreams. You see, I definitely needed to win this role on talent. Then they'd all take me seriously. It's almost my turn. I'm so nervous. The movie's called The Servant, so the main role is for the part of this maid. And Mrs. Sharma, a veteran actress who had just come back from Hollywood, will play the role of the ruthless mistress. This is it. Fingers crossed I don't forget my lines. Next, Jennifer Sinclair. Ignoring the buzzing gossip behind me, I confidently stepped onto the stage and smiled at Mrs. Sharma. She seemed a little surprised when she saw me. Fetch me a cup of chamomile tea. I was walking with the tray when... Oops! I tripped and fell, and the cup shattered across the floor. You incompetent girl! You do realize that cup was worth more than you are? Huh? This wasn't in the script. Stunned, I just stood there with a confused look on my face. Poof! Miss Sinclair, how are you supposed to be an actress when your reactions are this abysmal? Acting is also about improvisation, not just learning the script by heart, young lady. Jenny, you clearly didn't do your research, as you're clueless about this character. I regained my composure, hurriedly apologized to Miss Sharma, and begged the director to let me try one more time. I don't have time for this. How can a young girl who was born with a silver spoon in her mouth ever understand the life of a maid? Please leave. Other contestants are waiting. So, my dream casting became a nightmare. Ugh! It felt like the whole world was laughing at me. Miss, please get up. You need to eat something. Please don't be down. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. No, that was my big chance, and I blew it. Lucas Hemingworth hates me. That basically means the whole industry will now shun me. Oh, him. My aunt's his housekeeper, and she said he's a horror to work for. He's fired 5 housekeepers within the last month, and now nobody dares apply. Don't let him get you down. Everybody knows how obnoxious he is. Did you just say Lucas Hemingworth is looking for a maid, and you know the housekeeper there? That's right, but this is the perfect way to show him that I'm not just a pretty face. I might seem like a spoiled rich girl. I sure still can play the role of a maid better than anyone else. Please help me, or else I'll go on a hunger strike. Before she had a chance to reply, I grabbed the glass of milk and glugged it all in one breath. Okay then, we have the deal now? Hey, it's me, Jenny. I pass for a maid now, right? Remember what I told you, and never set foot in the master's working room without being asked. Now go to the warehouse and get me the box of Christmas decorations. Ugh, this box was so heavy. Suddenly I bumped into something, and as I fell, all of the Christmas decorations scattered across the floor. Huh? What was beneath me? Oh no, I was lying on top of someone. Oh my god, it was Lucas. I quickly got off him and apologized, but he just tutted at me, then walked off. I was feeling dumbfounded as I picked up the decorations when this girl approached me. You're the new maid, huh? Don't think that being pretty means you can seduce my dad to become a famous actress or something. Here's a piece of advice. Don't even dream about it. From now on, this maid serves me and only me. What a bummer. It was only my first day and I'd already got on the wrong side of Lily, the director's daughter. She already had a reputation in the modeling world for her extremely unpleasant personality. And indeed, from that day on, whenever she was home, she spent every second of her time tormenting me. Once, Lily asked me to bring her a cup of hot tea, but as soon as I put the tea tray down, she immediately changed her mind. She wanted her tea to be cool instead, so I had to stand fanning the cup for half an hour. Then, on another occasion, she ordered me to stand by the pool in the midday heat holding a tray of fruit. Then after each lap, she made me feed her a piece. It's not surprising I ended up with heat stroke and fell into the pool, which must have been extremely funny to Lily. Ugh. Well, she who laughs today may weep tomorrow. The next day, while watering the roses in the backyard, I caught sight of Lily acting out the part of the maid in front of her father through the living room's window. It seemed that she wanted to take the lead role in the movie too. I think you should just focus on your commercial advertising projects. You haven't learned the lines, and your fake crying is terrible. Do you even know which book this movie is adapted from? Then he just left, leaving her with her tantrum. At that moment, Lily caught me standing there laughing. So, as punishment, she ordered me to clean every single book in the library. Ugh! Whatever. I liked books anyway. Standing on the ladder cleaning, I happened to see the original copy of The Servant, the book the play is based on. I took it off the shelf, when suddenly, the sound of the door opening startled me. I quickly put the book back and tried to climb down the ladder, but then I misplaced my footing and... Ah! Firm hands grabbed my waist and guided me onto my feet. They were wearing a hoodie, mask, and sunglasses. OMG. Had a thief just saved me? Who are you? How did you get in? This is trespassing. Do you realize whose house you're trying to rob?
And you, do you know who you're talking to? Thief. Ridiculous.
Then he pulled down his hood and took off his sunglasses and mask. Oh God. It was Jack Jerome, the hottest actor on the scene right now. Before I could react, Lily's high-pitched scream startled us both. Jack, you're here! It's so exciting that you're staying with us for the next few months. I'm such a huge fan. To Lily's dismay, Jack ignored her, then coldly walked out of the room. So, turns out Jack's been cast as the male lead in The Servant, and to avoid adding to his already scandalous past and thus affecting the movie, Lucas insisted he stay here during filming. Anyway, even though I didn't like Jack at all, at least him being around meant Lily was too busy clinging onto him to pester me. These days, I often take advantage of the late-night cleaning time to study the original book. The last audition is coming up, and I have to understand my character better than anyone else. I was cleaning the kitchen while reading, when suddenly I heard footsteps. Who could it be at this time?
So, you like this book? It's confusing though, right?
Are you suggesting a mere maid like me isn't smart enough to understand it? I have no idea why you're cast as the warm, kind-natured, sincere part of Alfred. You're clearly the opposite of him.
It's called acting, sweetheart. So are you saying an actor must be exactly like their character in real life? Then shouldn't you be more cautious, since I just played a murdering lunatic in my last movie?
He's really unpleasant. Arguing with someone as arrogant as him was pointless. I'd just taken a few steps when I slipped over, but Jack reached out and grabbed my shirt tail, which helped save me from falling flat on the ground, but caused my shirt to tear. I blushed in embarrassment and tried to fix it.
Here, have this,
he said, as he quickly took off his jacket and placed it around my shoulders. At that moment, out of nowhere, Lily appeared. On seeing her, Jack hurriedly left the kitchen. She stormed over to me and yanked his shirt off me. What now? Changing your target already? But let me remind you, you're just some dumb maid. Jack's mine? Oh, poor Lily. You delusional girl. I'm not interested in Jack. But it doesn't take more than a glance to tell he's not remotely interested in her. Because of yesterday's incident, Lily made me wake up at 4 a.m. to bake probably all kinds of cakes that exist on Earth. I'd just finished decorating the last batch when she rushed into the kitchen, snatched the apron and gloves off me, then put them on. I didn't have time to understand what was happening when Jack walked in and she quickly held the plate out to him. Have a bite! I got up early to make it for you. What a fake! Jack was about to pop a piece of cake into his mouth when I realized it was almond. He's allergic to them. Stop! That cake has almonds in it. Here, have this one. He took the cake, then winked at me before he walked off. Yeah, his personality sucks, but oh boy, how to resist that strong jawline and those beautiful deep eyes? Naturally, Lily was furious, so she forced me to make tea. But no matter how much she knocked on Jack's door, he wouldn't open it for her. So she angrily threw the tea tray on the ground and yelled for me to clean it up. Oh my, it was such a mess. The carpet was tea-stained and there were bits of chipped china everywhere. I started picking up the pieces when... Ouch! I cut my hand. Jack immediately opened the door. Then on seeing my bleeding hand, he quickly led me into his room and helped me bandage the cut. I didn't know he had this warm side to him. How surprising. This weekend, the director's having a small gathering for the film cast and crew, so my time was taken up with the preparation for this. Now I was confident to say that I had fully understood what it's like to be a servant. There's no housework that I hadn't tried. I also accidentally lied to the housekeeper that I used to be a bartender, so she assigned the cocktail making to me. I was trying to get my head around the recipe of a cosmopolitan when Jack walked in.
Pretty good, but perhaps it needs a little more cranberry juice. You want them merry, not passing out. I know all the guests coming, so I can give you hints on what cocktails to serve them.
That's a good thing. I could ask him more about my future co-stars. The two of us talked passionately about wine, cocktails, and the servant book. Turns out he's actually quite sweet, and nothing at all like those ego-driven swine the press portray him as. While talking and drinking, I felt a little dizzy. Suddenly, Jack approached me.
Actually, I find you quite captivating, so you can quit playing around now.
Playing around? Huh? You think I like you? You're drunk. I was about to leave when Jack stopped me.
You're always falling over in front of me. You remember my almond allergy? You're reading the book I'm cast as the lead in. If you don't like me, how come you've been with me this whole time?
I looked at Jack confused. Honestly, every time I faced him, I felt my heart skip. Seeing me blushing, Jack gently lifted my chin and placed a sweet kiss on my lips. Right then, a scream made me jump and almost fell over again. Ah! What on earth are you two doing? I frantically ran out of the kitchen, leaving Lily screaming behind me. I sat outside by the pool until I regained my composure. That was unexpected. My first kiss was with Jack, the scandalous actor I hated the most. I think I needed to leave before things became even more complicated. After composing myself, I went back to my room to start packing, and saw my clothes were thrown across the ground, and there, sitting on my bed with a smug look on her face, was Lily. She waved my passport and script in her hand. Jenny Sinclair, it appears I know your secret. How humble of you to lower yourself to play a maid just to get a movie role. Imagine the scandal if the press found out about this. No one would dare to cooperate with a snake like you. I angrily grabbed my things back, but it didn't work. Lily even pulled out her phone to film and threaten me. Do what I say, else this video goes viral. Then not only will your daddy dearest know you've been scrubbing toilets all day, but imagine the damage your lies will do to his precious reputation. Gah! She was messing with the wrong girl. My method acting experience was over. I was done being her puppet. It's time she realized who's the true master of this game. Hello, it's me, Jenny, the maid in disguise. If you're wondering why a rich girl like me chose to be a maid, then it sounds like you haven't watched the dramatic episode 1 all about my turbulent time in this house. You should totally go and check it out. I had my dream acting role to get, so what better way to understand the mindset of a maid than to live the life of one? So that's why I'm here, working at the director Lucas's house. Unfortunately, it wasn't all smooth sailing, as his spiteful daughter Lily found out my secret, and now she was intent on making my life a misery. Jessie, Miss Hemingworth is asking for her tea. You see, I was already having 1,000 things to take care of, since tonight the director's throwing a party for the movie's crew. And still, Lily wouldn't give me a break with all of her annoying orders. As soon as I put the tea tray down in front of Lily, she looked at me disapprovingly, then took the dish towel from the tray and wiped the lipstick off my lips. Maids have no use for makeup, do they, Jessie? Or should I say, Jenny? Are you trying to seduce my Jack? Stay away from him, else I'll make you pay for it. I leaned close to Lily's ear. Hate to break it to you, but Jack's the one who can't seem to stay away from me. Apparently, you aren't as attractive as a maid, huh? Furious, Lily knocked over the teacup, causing a few drops of hot water to splash onto my hand. Right at that moment, Jack passed by and rushed over to me.
Are you okay? Let me look at that.
I'm fine. Please go away. I don't want my mistress to misunderstand. Jack helped me up, then turned and gave Lily an opposing look. I didn't do anything. She's just faking it. Without letting her finish, he led me into his room. Gee, Lily sure looked mad about this. I honestly wasn't that hurt, but Jack still gently took care of me. He even softly blew on my hand to help relieve the pain. Can't deny that I was a little moved by his gestures. To be fair, he is handsome. It isn't a stretch that people call him the Adonis of showbiz. Suddenly, I noticed him meet my gaze. Oh no, had he noticed me staring at him?
Why are you looking at me in that way? You're not even blinking.
Then he leaned towards my face. Was he going to kiss me again? I quickly covered my mouth with my hand, and he just shook his head and laughed.
What do you think I'm gonna do, huh?
I leaped up and raced out of there. Whoa, my heart has never pounded so fast. I composed myself, then went downstairs to continue working. But, well, look who's here again. Surely Lily started to boss me around anew as soon as she saw my face. The night fell, the guests started to arrive, and so the party could finally get started. And while serving everyone drinks, I kept my ear open to catch all kinds of gossiping about the play. Meanwhile, Lily was practically glued to Jack's side. She clearly wanted everyone to think that they were an item. She waved me over, but as I neared her, I noticed her stick her foot out to trip me up. Okay, fine. If she wanted me to fall, then I'd fall. So I purposely fell and spilled red wine all over her beloved bespoke dress. She looked like she was going to internally explode, but I just apologized profusely as I helped her up. Lily got the hump, then went upstairs to change clothes. With her out of the way, Jack asked me if my hand was okay. Was he really worried about me? He gently held my hand to check, then even dusted off my clothes. I gave a shy smile and was about to thank him, but he had already turned away to greet Siren, this beautiful emerging actress. Unbelievable! As I watched him lead her over to the dance floor, I felt so foolish for ever believing a guy like him was capable of having sincere feelings. I angrily left when the housekeeper insisted I fetch more chairs for the guests. Ugh! Being a maid is really miserable. You don't even have time to be upset. As I hurried to the storage room, I saw Lily standing in front of the director's study room, looking sneaky. What was she doing? I cleared my throat, which startled her and caused her to drop her phone. Oh boy, when she spun around and saw me, she sure looked mad. She ordered me to carry her dress, but I told her that I had to finish the housekeeper's task first. Be quick! Meet me by the pool! Then she stormed off. Curious, I peeked through the gap into Lucas's office and saw Mrs. Sharma in there with him. Was Lily eavesdropping on them? After that, I had to carry the train of Lily's dress around the party. Indeed, a showy girl. But her plan to punish me wasn't working, as everyone seemed to pay more attention to me than to her. I even overheard some of them whisper that I was pretty, which made Lily screw her face up in annoyance. Then when we were by the pool, she ordered me to fix her hair, but then she suddenly swung her hands out, which caused me to lose my balance. Panicked, I grabbed onto Lily's dress belt, and we both gave horrified looks as we fell head first into the pool. Lily intentionally pushed me for everyone to laugh at anyway, so fine, an eye for an eye. Seeing as Lily was like a buoyancy aid in that OTT dress, I pretended that I couldn't swim and clung to her, then pushed her head down several times. Suddenly, someone jumped into the pool and pulled me up. It was Jack.
For someone who can't swim, you sure don't seem that freaked out, huh? Next time, try acting more realistic.
Geez, Jack saw right through me. I shyly made an excuse to go change clothes and left. Thank goodness, that chaotic party was over. It was absolutely exhausting. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about Jack and how he always seemed to appear at the right moment. I suppose his actions really touched me. However, there's a chance that he was just using me to annoy Lily, right? She definitely wouldn't let me off this time. Speak of the devil. I forbid you from talking to Jack ever again. You've probably forgotten my warning. My dad's at home right now. Should I go talk to him? Do what you want, but I'm sure the press would love to see some unflattering photos of you. And do you remember how that one time you pretended to be sick in order to avoid participating in a charity program? You dare to sneakily take photos of me? You... It's you who went through my stuff first. I have no interest in Jack, but no way will I ever sit back and let you control me again. Okay, fine. As long as you don't hover around him, I'll leave you alone. My dad told you to bring him some tea into his working room, so better hurry up. Lucas wants to drink tea while working? Okay. I carried the tea tray upstairs and quickly hid in a room near his office. After a while, I saw Lily come up and put her ear close to the door, muttering, "Why hasn't Dad yelled at her yet? Is she flirting with him again? This fox!" Then she immediately flung the door open, thinking she's going to catch me red-handed. You see, I know that Lucas only drank coffee while working, and also he hated being disturbed. At this point, I slowly entered the room and saw him shouting at his beloved daughter.
I already said that no one could enter this room without my permission.
I pretended not to understand what was going on at that time and hurriedly placed the tea tray on the table. "Sir, Mistress ordered me to bring you some tea."
Both of you get out! Now!
Lily glared at me angrily and walked out. It serves her right for trying to get me into trouble. It's crazy how fast time flies. The last day of casting was the next day already. I stayed up late to practice some more, when suddenly Lily burst in and tore up my script. "I forbid you to audition for this role. It'll be mine anyway, so just give up and save yourself the humiliation." Poof! What to do with this delusional girl? The next morning, I woke up early to get ready, but when I went to open my door, it wouldn't budge. Oh no, it was locked from the outside. Lily had to be behind this. I opened the window and peered down. It wasn't too high, so I tied my clothes together into a rope to climb down. But halfway down, a shirt suddenly ripped and I fell into someone's arms. I scrambled to my feet and turned to see Jack. He was rubbing his arm while frowning at me.
You love falling into my arms, don't you?
I'm in a rush. I don't have time to argue with you. I grabbed my bag and was about to leave when an idea popped into my mind. Can you take me to the studio right away? Jack was a bit surprised at first, but he eventually agreed. I transformed while in the car. I took off my wig and brown contact lenses, put on some makeup, and voila! Beautiful Jenny was back. Jack couldn't help but gape at me in surprise.
You... What's going on?
But there was no time to explain. We'd already arrived at the studio. I hopped out of the car and hurried inside to audition. The director called my name at the exact moment I entered the set. I quickly regained my composure and stepped onto the stage where Mrs. Sharma was already waiting. I told myself I wouldn't let her frazzle me this time. As expected, she tried to throw me off by changing the situation and dialogue. But I took inspiration from my difficult times being Lily's maid and performed my heart out. When I finished, the whole film set started to applaud. Some of them even had teary eyes, which made me burst with happiness. After a while of discussion, the director stood up and was about to announce the results when Lily suddenly appeared. She turned on the projector and asked everyone to watch an important video. Is she trying to expose me right now? But, oh, it was a video of Mrs. Sharma talking to the director.
Jenny Sinclair is my daughter. I only want the best for her. Please accept my request.
Oh my gosh. So, the rumor about my mom being a famous actress is true. It was Mrs. Sharma who chose her career over me. I fell to my knees and looked at Mrs. Sharma, whose eyes were full of guilt. Everybody took out their phones to take pictures and videos. My ears were ringing, hearing thousands of questions buzzing around. Suddenly, the light went out. In the dark, a hand pulled me out of the crowd. It was Jack. He put his jacket over me and then secretly took me to the car. Jack drove for an hour to a deserted beach. The two of us sat on the sand and stared out at the sea. Suddenly, Jack turned to face me and took my hand in his.
If you've decided to become an actress, having to face the public backlash over a rumor, whether it's the truth or not, is unavoidable. No matter what everyone says, you just need to stay true to yourself and believe in the rightful things you did.
I smiled slightly at Jack. It turned out that behind this scandalous bad boy image was actually a really brave guy who had been through a lot in this tough industry. Jack took me home after sunset, and as soon as I reached the front porch, I heard quarreling. So I slowly opened the door, kept my ear to the ground, and gently peeked into the living room. Oh my God, Mrs. Sharma is here?
Why did you leave her for 18 years, then come back and mess things up like that?
You know very well that I did no such thing. You're the one who prevented me from seeing her. I've always watched Jenny from afar. There's not a single photo of her that I don't keep.
If you love her, why did you drag her into acting? You want her to have a suffocating life, always being watched by thousands of people, not having a single day of freedom like you? Meanwhile, I can provide her with a comfortable, pressure-free life.
I don't want her to be an actress either. I was the one who asked the director not to give her the lead role. I also want her to have a peaceful life, so I've tried everything in my capability to make her fail the casting. Unbelievable. So that's the truth? Dad, why did you hide Mom away from me? Do you know how much it sucked not having a mom?
Jenny, why are you here? Just hear me out.
I don't want to hear anything. Jenny, let me explain. Miss Sharma, acting is my passion. You abandoned me to chase yours, but now you want to forbid mine? How ridiculous! Both of you keep saying you're doing what's best for me, but have you ever asked me how I feel? I hate you both! I ran to my room, slammed the door, then cried my eyes out until I fell asleep. When I woke up, I saw a bunch of notifications on my phone. Turns out Miss Sharma went live and publicized her side of the story. The article showed the room full of my pictures from baby to grown-up. She talked about how when she divorced my dad, even though she loved me dearly, she thought he'd be able to provide me with a better life, so she gave him full custody. So, it turns out I do have a famous actress mom, and she does love me. I guess it must have been hard for Mom, and she must have suffered a lot too. Looking at the pictures of my childhood preserved by her, tears welled up in my eyes. At that moment, my maid rushed in. Miss, congratulations! They picked you! The maid showed me the phone screen. In front of me was an article titled, Jenny Sinclair chosen as the servant's leading lady. I rubbed my eyes in disbelief. This is real, right? It's real, miss. Look, even your casting clip has reached millions of likes, and the comments are full of praise for your method acting. Everyone supports you. I jumped up and hugged my maid, tears streaming down my face. Finally, I've achieved my dream. So, what now? Well, as you can see, I made it. This is the movie premiere. I'm here with my mom. She accompanied me on set and taught me a lot. Suddenly, a firm hand wrapped around my waist from behind. It was Jack. He's always playfully sweet like that. The three of us posed for photos and greeted our fans. The media these days keeps shipping me with Jack. They say we're a case of on-screen romance turning into real-life lovers. But, that's not quite right, seeing as we actually fell in love before filming even started. Oh, that person over there. Is that really my dad? Oh my. Today is indeed the happiest day of my life. Having Dad's support for my passion like this means everything to me. I'm well on my way to becoming an excellent actress like my mom. Or, who knows, maybe even better.
Here I was, confronting my greatest fear. Ma! math. Wendy, focus. What is 9 plus 11? A, 19, or B, 21? The numbers whirled around me. Panic set in. 9 plus 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 19? No, 21? Great numerical gods, why is this so confusing?
You're so extra. Sit up. I'll show you again.
I still don't get why I have to do this, though. It's not like I'm going to school. Yeah, I quit school not long ago to help Mom out, making a couple of bucks. In case you haven't noticed, we're dirt poor. I'm Wendy, by the way. 15 and fabulous. Well, sorta. I know I'm a big silly goofball, but the good thing is my brother, Leo, does not share the same brain cell with me. That guy ate knowledge for breakfast. He went to this elite high school, on scholarship of course, and always the top student 3 years in a row. That's like genius. Mom also said he's our only ticket out of poverty. That's why she held 3 jobs at once, while I gathered scrap metal to sell to the scrapyard to support his study. The 3 of us have been working hard to create a better life for our family. But then, one afternoon, I suddenly noticed posters of Leo that accused him of breaking his classmate's arm. What nonsense is this? I tore them all down and rushed home to see a bunch of gangsters breaking our things. My mom and Leo were in the corner, begging them to stop. Stop! What on earth are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing, brat? I'm collecting compensation for your brother's victim. He messed with the wrong person. The son of a loaded family.
You got the wrong guy. Leo wouldn't hurt a fly. Right, Leo? I turned to him, but he just lowered his head in guilt and defeat. How much then?
$3,000.
3,000? You kidding, right?
Do I look like I'm kidding? Let her go!
Just stop it, all of you! Then Mom rushed to the kitchen and brought back all of our saving jars.
They're about $1,000. Just take them and leave us alone. I'll pay the rest later.
The thug let me go and grabbed the jars.
We'll be back next month for the rest.
Mom fell to her knees. She looked so hopeless amongst the mishmash.
Mom, Wendy, I'm so sorry. Please let me help. The school already suspended me for a whole month. I'll get a job. I'll pay for the debt. No, my boy. Use this free time to study. Once you come back to school, I want you to be the perfect student, so no one can ever look down on us again, okay? But what about the debt? Just leave it to me. I'll work some extra shifts here and there, and everything will be sorted. Now, go study. Thank you. Mom, I won't let you down again.
Then he left the room. That's when Mom's smile wears off. I knew she only said that so Leo could have his peace of mind. The truth was, no amount of Mom's extra shifts could get us $2,000 by next month. I think if the math was right, it's time for me to save the day. I tried to get a job, but somehow they all lasted for only 1 shift. Like when I was waiting for this diner, all the food and drink just fell out of my tray. Or that time when I work at a construction site and I got my foot stuck on the thing I just built. I came home feeling deflated. Just then, there was a knock at the door. It was Nathan, Leo's best friend. I could instantly feel my cheeks heating up.
Hello, Erp to Wendy. Are you gonna let me in? Or are we gonna stand here, awkwardly?
Sure. Come on in.
You look, exhausted. You sure you're alright?
It's just the whole thing with Leo. I've been trying to get a job to pay for the debt, but nothing worked.
I'm sorry all that happened to your family, and I want to help you. But there's something you should know first.
After the talk, Nathan got me a job as a maid for his cousin Zach's house. Other maids were showing me around when, get out! A maid ran past us, crying her eyes out. What was that? That is the young Master Zach throwing a tantrum. He's the illegitimate son of the late master and was only brought here 5 years ago by his grandfather. And let's just say, Madame Linda, his stepmom, is not so thrilled about it. They've been on each other's necks ever since. The girl you just saw was Madame Linda's favorite. She's been a thorn in Master Zach's side for a while now. Then I gotta find a way to get on both their good sides, to prove that I'm perfect for this job. Okay, first day at work, Madame Linda was complaining about Zach's toy car collection, so I threw them all away. But Zach went bonkers on me and went rummaging through the junkyard to find every single one of them. Sorry, Master Zach, it's just Madame Linda. Oopsies. He immediately stormed off to confront Madame Linda. I felt bad, so to make amends between them, I cooked his favorite soup and told him that Madame Linda made it for him as an apology. But as he took the first bite, his face turned green and dashed to the nearest toilet. Whoops. One rainy day, I was taking the trash out and saw a strange woman peeking from the fence. She suddenly tripped, so I helped her up, asking if she was looking for someone, but she just ran away. Whoa, Jesus, how long have you been standing there?
Long enough. Come inside, it's freezing out here.
Sure. Later that day, I was cleaning Madame Linda's room when accidentally knocked over her jewelry box. It crashed on the floor, spilling jewelry everywhere. One of the bangles snapped in half. I frantically pocketed it to fix it later when the gruff butler swung the door open. I apologized and promised to fix the jewelry box, but he still insisted on firing me. Just then, Zach stepped in and ordered him to let it slide. Zach then stayed and watched me fix it.
Where'd you learn to do that?
It's nothing. I grew up in a trailer park. Everything we own came from the junkyard. They just need a little fixer-upper. I've been doing it since forever, so...
You got a gift. Besides, reusing things is cool.
Whatever you say, pretty guy. Say,
You want to hang out sometime?
like a date?
Maybe.
Won't your girlfriend get jealous?
What girlfriend? I'm very single and ready to mingle right now.
Sure, why not? On the weekend, Zach took me to his favorite coffee shop, and I got to see a softer, more caring side of him. Turned out he never got a girlfriend, so I made him a flirting tutorial. For a price, of course. At first, I thought he was just practicing on me by giving me flowers and fancy chocolates. But then he continued to woo me with my own list. He set up a romantic picnic under the stars in the backyard, took me to the park, and we watched the enchanting sunset together. That night, we walked back to the mansion. Before coming inside, Zach stopped me.
These past weeks that I've known you have been the best moments of my life. Wendy, I think I've fallen for you. Will you be my girlfriend?
Where did you learn those cheesy words?
Do you like them? Is it hot in here? Or is it just you?
Stop! I just need you to promise to be on my side, no matter what.
I promise.
When Zach left, I returned to my room. I pulled out my diary and then ticked off the last box on my list. Well, it was fun, Zach, but everything must come to an end. Soon you'll pay for everything you did to my family. I knew the truth back when Nathan came to our house.
There's something you should know first. Your brother was tricked. He didn't start the fight. A guy mocked your poor family, so Leo turned aggressive. After the incident, the guy was salty Leo beated him, so he faked a broken arm and had his family come for yours. They don't need your money. They just want you to suffer.
And who's that guy?
He's Zach, my cousin. What he did was wrong, so I'm on your side on this. And there's another thing.
Nathan played a video of Linda and her thugs threatening my mom and demanding more money. My rage became scorching. That moment, I decided to get revenge. That's why I became a maid at Zach's house, sabotaged his relationship with Linda, and made him fall for me. Everything was going just as planned so far. But the next thing I knew, Mom called me to tell me that Leo had been expelled from school and ran away from home. My blood was boiling. That's it. Today's the day Zach goes down. I pulled out Linda's broken bangle and placed it on my bedside table. During the daily room check, the butler spotted it right away and informed Linda. She rushed over to reprimand me for stealing her jewelry. Just then, Zach swooped in to defend me. Zach, you have to trust me. I didn't steal it. I just wanted to fix it before turning it to Madame Linda.
Don't worry, I believe you. You heard her. I know you despise me, but don't you dare drag my loved one into this.
Oh, finally put it out in the open, huh? You and your low-life girlfriend. Birds of a feather.
You're right, we're alike, and that means we're nothing like you evil witch.
Ha! Let's see how you like it. Alone on the streets.
Guards, throw them out now!
The next second, Zach and I were dumped on the sidewalk along with our belongings. Watching him grappling his stuff, I couldn't help but chuckle. How does it feel to be discarded like an unwanted object? Enlightening, isn't it?
What are you saying?
You remember Leo, the person who broke your arm? Who you used to extort money from my family? I'm his sister.
I think you got it wrong. Leo didn't break my arm. He only shoved me to the ground and said something like, don't talk nonsense about his family. I didn't care, but Linda kept telling me to skip school the next day. She must have used me to make a fuss.
You mocked my family for being dirt poor. That's why Leo was so mad at you.
That's not true. I used to be poor too. You remember the woman lurking around the mansion? That's my real mom. She just wanted to make sure I was okay.
Turned out, Zach and his mom were abandoned by his dad because of their humble background. Then his grandpa found him. Though Zach didn't want to, his mom made him come with his grandpa, so he'd have a better life. But what his mom didn't know was that heck of a mansion was the coldest, most isolated place.
That is, until you came.
And it hit me. Zach is telling the truth. That meant I had taken revenge on the wrong person. Shoot! I am so sorry. I had no idea. And now you're kicked out, Leo's gone, and there's a huge debt. I don't know what to do.
Hey, it's alright. One thing at a time, Kay? I'm not mad at you or anything. I just wish you'd told me. But it's fine. I don't really like that house anyway. What about your brother?
He got expelled and left.
I'm sure he's okay. I'll help you find him, yeah?
Thank you, and I'm sorry. I don't know how to make it up to you.
You don't have to. I got a feeling you didn't come up with this twisted plan.
I didn't. It's actually your cousin, Nathan. I took Zach back to my place where he'd crash in the meantime. Mom was in tears. She told me that Leo was accused of plagiarizing an essay so he could no longer go to that school. But Leo's too smart to do such a thing. So Zach proposed we investigate at the school. To find whose essay Leo supposedly copied, we broke into the school's computer lab that night. We were snooping around when suddenly, Zach was grabbed from behind and dragged away. I slowly turned around and was shocked to the core. I sprinted to Nathan's house, banging on the door. Nathan! Zach was kidnapped! He's the heir to Adam's estate. They took him away for the ransom.
The heir? What do you mean?
Your grandfather's lawyer came to see Zach and I overheard him. Your grandfather's sick, so he authorized a lawyer to hand the will to his sole heir, Zach.
The will? Do you know where it is? If we swap it for a fake one with someone else's name on it, they'll release Zach and target that person instead.
Great idea. I think Zach left it in his bedroom. Maybe it's still there. Nathan and I hurried over to Zach's house. Nathan snuck into his bedroom while I was on the lookout at the door. Nathan switched the will for a fake one and took out a lighter and set it on fire. Just then, I turned on the light, scaring him to death.
What on earth, Wendy? Kill the lights or we'll be caught.
You mean you'll be caught? Then I opened the door, revealing everyone in his family and my brother Leo.
What's going on? Enjoying the taste of your own medicine, cousin?
Yeah, you just got busted. Remember when we were at the lab? I was shocked to the core to see my brother muffling Zach.
Shh, be quiet or we'll get caught.
Leo, I thought you left. Mom was worried sick.
I know, I'm sorry, but I need to sort this out. Things have been sketchy ever since that incident with this guy. And now with this, I gotta prove my innocence. So I came here and found this. Look.
Turns out Leo's essay was identical to yours, Nathan. You took advantage of me to get revenge on Zach when he wasn't to blame. You told Leo Zach was bad-mouthing our family to stir things up between them. You made our lives miserable. I trusted you.
I can't believe you'd go this far. You're always obsessed with Grandpa's inheritance. Everything's a competition for you, to prove that you deserve to be a successor. All that work, but still nothing. Do you know how many sleepless nights I had to study? Or to hatch a plan, worrying Mom and Dad would blame me for not trying, for not being better? And you just showed up and everyone sees you as this golden child. And all my efforts have gone to waste. Why, Grandpa? Why not me? You were left out of the will due to your greed and scheming behavior. Now I know it's your parents' fault, and there will be severe consequences for them. And you, Nathan, you will join the army after graduation to serve the country, get disciplined, and come back a better man. Guards, take them away.
As Nathan made his exit, he paused at the sight of Leo and I.
I'm truly sorry for everything.
Then he walked out the door. In the end, Grandpa chose to give Zach his share of the fortune. Zach, however, refused. He never wanted the money. All he wanted was to live comfortably with his mom. So that night, he packed up his things and was ready to go back home. His true home. Seeing Zach, I realized bearing hatred towards someone cannot solve your problem. It just puts you through so much pain, and even hurt other innocent people along the way. It's best just to focus on yourself. You do you, and things will work out on their own. Like now that all mysteries are debunked, our family is free of debt, and Leo can go back to school, full scholarship. Also, to compensate for what we've been through, Zach's grandpa decided to start a charity fund, and my family was the first to benefit from it. They even helped my mom secure a steady job. As for me, I found a knack for making things and found my place as an apprentice at a pottery studio. My coworkers have become my extended family. They always make fun of me whenever he picks me up.
Hop on, we're going to a very special place today.
Where to?
It's a surprise. Hold tight.
I was sitting at my usual spot in the common room during break time, coding of course, eyes glued to my MacBook Pro when suddenly, Evelyn, my best friend, barged in and ran straight over to a group of girls. Here she goes again. Guys, I've got big news. You all know Helen, right? The cheerleader? Kay, she has a huge crush on Dean, so she went to the locker and it said yes. Now guess what? I just saw them in the hallway. Kissing! Ha! These gossip vultures will believe anything. Confused? Let me wrap it up for you. They were talking about this mysterious locker, situated in the school's back alley. The creepy part was, it could actually speak and foretell your future love partner. For it to work, you had to visit the locker between 6 and 7 p.m. Tap on it exactly 3 times and say the spell. Roses are red, violets are blue, in a world of love, just we two. Then, ask it if you and your crush are compatible. If the locker said yes, then congratulations. But if no, then too bad. This proves it. The locker must have some sort of prophecy power. Of course, duh. You know why? 'Cause it's possessed by a lovelorn spirit. Oh boy. If only these naive kids knew the truth. The mystical locker that they so worshipped was actually a product of advanced IT, of which the mastermind was moi. Didn't see that coming, did you? I'm Karina, by the way, but people like to call me Robot Girl 'cause I'm a super proud tech genius. But kids my age didn't appreciate my talents as they only seemed to care about love. Especially Alicia over there. She despised IT and presumed that anyone into it was a stone-cold machine who'd never ever had a relationship. So, being the tech whiz that I am, I had to come up with a brilliant plan to prove her wrong. I spent every bit of spare time I had coding. I hacked into the school system to collect students' infos, such as their star signs, blood type, hobbies, and career orientation. Then, I used this as a database to create a love compatibility calculator. And just like that, my first brainchild was born. Easy peasy. Using it was simple. All I had to do was insert the two names and it'd show me a yes or a no. Knowing how much my peers buy into the whole spiritual stuff, I devised my locker plan. I found this rusty locker at the dead-end alley behind our school, superglued a walkie-talkie inside, locked it well. Then, with the other walkie-talkie in hand, I stayed in the school equipment room, which is convenient enough to be on the other side of the wall. To top it up a notch, I even used a voice changer app to get a perfect ghostly haunted tone. Then, I anonymously spread rumors about the locker's magical powers onto the school's blog. My trick quickly took off, and since launch day, 15 couples have been successfully matched. Can you imagine? True love? Oh, please. It all came down to some simple algorithms, that's all. But, one more thing. I hadn't exactly told Evelyn about this. Yeah, I love her, but she's not the best at keeping secrets. To be exact, she's a walking speaker who couldn't help but blab any gossip she'd heard to the entire school. Anyway, I needed to test if the locker actually worked first. Then I'd tell her, maybe when I reached 20 successful couples. Luckily for me, keeping this one secret from her turned out to be easy, as her attention was all on her crush, Jace, the school's hot boy. In her eyes, Jace was like an angel or something. It seems like I'm the only one who didn't get the gooey eyes memo. One evening I was taking my locker shift when I heard a familiar voice. Evelyn's! Oh boy, I could already guess she wanted to ask about her and Jace. The algorithm said yes, and I could hear Evelyn screaming ecstatically at the announcement. Fine, if she's happy, I'm happy. But it didn't last long, as an hour later, just as I was about to leave, more footsteps came towards the locker, and I heard a knock on it. Roses are red, violets are blue. Hold on. Jace? What was he doing out here? Can I become a couple with Karina? What? No way! Had something hit his head? I immediately said no. No calculator needed for that. He stayed silent at first, but then asked again if I'd be his girlfriend. The answer was still no. He asked the locker again and again, but no. Jeez, what's with this guy? The next day at school, I noticed Evelyn's wearing her lucky lilac dress. Oh no, was she going to confess to Jace? I had to stop this. Hey, I have an emergency thingy. You need to come with me. Karina, what are you doing? But it was too late as Jace was approaching us. Hey, what are you playing? Tug of war? Oh, I think you messed up your hair. Here, let me. Jeez, he was unnecessarily close. And the worst part was that Evelyn just witnessed the whole thing. Right at that moment, the bell rang and she left for class. Jace, this idiot! The locker said no already, and there he went, messing it all up. Now, I had to wait till the end of class to explain things to Evelyn. But things weren't that easy, as every time I tried to approach her, she gave me this flustered look, then hurried away. One time, I managed to reach her, but then, yep, you guessed it, shameless Jace showed up and ruined the conversation. Gosh, this leech wouldn't quit bothering me. In math class, he asked the teacher to let him change from Evelyn's group to mine, 'cause he suddenly wanted me to tutor him. The worst part was, the more I tried to ignore him, the more interested in me he seemed to get. Until one day, as I was running away from him, I bumped into someone. It was the school's head boy, Killian. Oh man, I was sure I was in trouble, but...
Can you see her bothering her? Quit it already.
Did Killian just defend me? But, uh-oh, that sure made Jace mad.
It's none of your business.
Excuse me, this is a library, not a theater club. Keep quiet or out. Phew, thank God I got out of there. But, come to think of it, that was a strange thing for the normally stern-faced Killian to do. Whatever. I don't have time to think about this right now. So far, the locker had predicted 19 couples successfully. I just needed one more match, then I could proudly make my invention public, and voila! My app would change the whole world's dating scene. Here it is, my 20th client. Wait, isn't that Killian? And guess who he's asking about? Yeah, me. Maybe everyone was right about the robot girl nickname. 'Cause how could I be so clueless all this time about Jace and now Killian? I inserted the data, and the result was a no. But hang on, what if I dated Killian? Would that make Jace give up and stop bothering me? And Evelyn wouldn't keep her distance from me anymore. It's settled. The locker pronounced yes. Monday morning, I was in the study hall, working on the math group project with Jace, when a note was passed to me.
Hey, I know this is a bit sudden, but would you like to go out with me? Saturday 3 p.m.? Killian.
I took a peek at him and saw him smiling for the first time ever. Okay, I was about to write my answer when Jay snatched the note, read it, then stared straight at Killian.
You? Me? Outside.
What was he gonna do now? I sneakily followed them to the hallway, but Evelyn appeared right behind me and signaled me to shush. That was when I heard Jace asking what was going on between me and Killian.
Nothing really. Only the infamous love locker foretold Karina and I would be together.
Jace was too stunned to speak as he turned purple with rage. So there's nothing going on between you and Jace? Of course not. I've been trying to tell you that this whole time.
You've heard everything?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So, what do you think about the date?
Sure. I'd love to. I could see Jace boiled over from behind, but what could he do other than bear his grudge and storm off? Problem solved. Saturday arrived and Killian picked me up for our date. He even asked for my parents' approval, then opened the car door for me like a true gentleman. To be honest, I was kinda nervous, but he was so good at comforting me. He then took me to the super cool ice cream drive-thru, and coincidentally, we picked the same flavor, butter pecan. Before I noticed, I'd felt so comfortable around him already. And you know what the best part was? Our last stop was a planetarium. We sat side by side beneath the glistening star-filled sky. Whoa. This date was much more than I expected. I got to see this whole new side of him, one that is so warm and caring. Being with him made me feel good. Maybe the algorithms weren't quite accurate, right? It did say Killian and I would never be a couple, but what I was feeling then proved otherwise. I was still lost in thoughts when my alarm suddenly went off. 5:15 already? Right, I gotta get to the locker and change the walkie-talkie's battery. So I quickly said goodbye to Killian, then ran to the alley. As I was opening the locker to get the walkie-talkie out...
Karina? Are you opening the locker? How? Unless you're... Oh. I don't know how, but you sure tricked the entire school.
I froze on the spot, not knowing what to do.
There's no need to freak out. I'm not gonna tell a soul. That is, as long as you become my girlfriend.
Why are you so obsessed with me? You can have anyone else you want. Why me?
'Cause you're different, babe. You're interesting and somehow aren't easily swayed by me, which makes you a challenge. Ugh, this douchebag made me want to vomit.
He could expose me all he wants, but I'd never ever go near him again. I shoved past him to leave, but suddenly he grabbed my hand and tried to force me into his embrace. Get off of me, you psycho! I never meant for it to turn out like this. I just wanted to prove that data was the driving force of compatibility. But maybe I'd been wrong after all. I decided it was time to confess all to Evelyn before Jace told her first. Only the next morning, when I arrived to pick her up as usual, her mom told me she'd already left. Was there something I didn't know about? I turned on my phone notifications, and that's when I saw it. Alicia had posted the picture of Jace grabbing me, but the angle made it look like, in Alicia's words, we were kissing. Huh? So that's why Evelyn didn't want to see me. And what would Killian think of this? I arrived at school just as Killian stepped out of his car. I rushed toward him, and when our eyes met, I could see he was hurt. Then he just turned and walked away. Without thinking, I caught up with him, and I poured my heart out telling him I was the one behind the locker, how I got involved with Jace because of Evelyn, and how I lied to him when he went to the locker. But that was also how I realized I had feelings for someone. For you. Excuse me? You're the one behind the love locker? No way. Gosh, I'm so glad I got all my secrets out. In that case, we have a big problem. Evelyn then walked me along the corridor, and what I saw was pure chaos. People were crying, arguing, and even fighting, all because of the locker. One couple was having a tearful breakup because the locker claimed they weren't meant to be. In the other corner, two girls were fighting because the locker matched them to the same guy. A boy was breaking stuff out of anger since the locker didn't match him with his crush. The entire lobby echoed the words, "Love Locker." Gosh, how'd I been so oblivious to this before? I'd been so caught up with my own problems, I'd neglected the consequences of the locker I'd created. This was wrong, so wrong. I had to shut the locker down right now. I rummaged through my bag to find my MacBook, but this was my baby, my first brainchild. No, I must do this. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. Technology shouldn't be used to predict one's feelings. I've learned the hard way not to mess with anyone's relationship ever again, and that love is never ever simple. You don't need a mysterious object of the spiritual world to tell you who to date. You just gotta experience it. Well, it's been 3 months since I shut down the infamous love locker. Now, everything is finally back to normal. And guess what? I've got a boyfriend. Yup, Killian and I just went official last week. Evelyn doesn't like Jace anymore. She vowed not to run after some good-looking pretentious jerk ever again. Instead, she's just gonna wait for the right guy to come along. About the love locker, when people realized it didn't work anymore, the speculations became rife. My personal favorite is that the spirit had found peace and left. But still, every now and then, I hear someone gossip about the haunted love locker that once turned the whole school upside down, and I can help but feel all goosepimply.